Here we go, baby.
All right.
We just have to, right? And it's one of those things.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to kind of open with that.
Well,
so, you know.
That's a different opening than usual.
A little bit different. And I will say, first of all, before anybody says anything, I love that song. I legitimately love that song. But last week you started the tradition of announcing the celebrity birthdays, and I did a little bit of research today, you know, and I found out that today would have been Whitney Houston's 56th birthday.
Yes.
Unfortunately, she passed away in 2012.
Yes.
And I just wanted to honor one of the greatest female vocalists of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I just love that song.
It's a sad loss.
It is.
Very
It definitely
sad
is.
loss.
So talented. Plus, The Bodyguard's honestly a great movie.
No,
So
Bodyguard's
underrated.
really
a
good.
legitimately underrated movie. Like
Kevin Costner.
It's hard to watch.
You think so? Oh, Kevin Costner.
Kevin
it is.
Costner was in it.
He's
He
not
was-
a phenomenal actor. But,
Yeah, but
He has his moments, but
yeah, I mean,
But it had a legitimately good story. I really felt like it. I mean, I don't know.
I think he just
I don't
plays
know.
himself
Good.
most of the time in his movies. Really.
but we
It's a
almost
guilty
lost.
pleasure for me.
We almost lost Joe a few years ago to Bobby Brown as well.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was really infatuated with him back with My Prerogative. He was like dressing up, but we got rid of him. What was your name going to
It
be?
was good. That's the reason why we broke up.
Your
'cause
famous
the
power couple
the
name?
Power couple name was Joe Bob,
Joe Bob.
and
Yeah,
just that just started everything off on the
Right.
wrong foot right off the bat.
it really came
You know what
apart
I mean?
quickly.
It was just right off the bat. So.
Yeah, that's a good.
I'm glad you stood up for
That's rough.
yourself.
There
I'm
was
glad you
another
got
one
out
that
of
we were thinking about. We were going to do last names, and we said Brown. My last name is Hassett, so we're going to do Brown Hass.
Brown
right, but I
Hass.
was
That,
like, you
that
better
was like,
take
no.
your brown ass to the bathroom
Brown
and
ass.
wipe your.
Brown ass.
Wipe
that's
yourself better.
exactly-
That- yeah,
you
that-
brown ass son of a bitch.
Hey,
Brown
chock
Hass.
full
You
of brown
Hass. Yes,
Well,
no.
anyway, let me welcome everyone officially to episode 7 of the Loosely Related podcast. It's August 9th, 2019, and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Rob. What's going on, man?
Hey everybody, what's up?
And I am joined by Joe. What's going on?
Hi,
How you
hi-
doing, Dad?
Hi, folks.
All right.
How's everyone doing? How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Good, awesome.
I just want to, and also I just want to start off by saying, I just want to say thanks to everybody for taking the time to check us out. And believe it or not, we actually do try our hardest to be as professional as possible.
Yeah,
It might
no,
not
we
seem
try
that way,
to.
but
Sometimes-
Is that coming
Sometimes
through?
yeah.
I mean, professional is a state of mind, I suppose, and our state of mind sometimes is not always where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So we do our best,
Exactly. But
All we can do.
yeah, so we getting a little bit of a late start tonight, just because
if
Rob
we're-
had a pretty cool thing going on with you. With you were at a employee appreciation event for.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about that? What was that? Because I don't want to say like, oh, Rob was at employee appreciation.
Yeah,
Rob was-
that's fine.
Rob was
appreciating-
just there. He wasn't there for the
Well,
appreciation they were.
He was
giving
appreciating the
out.
fact
They were just-
that
he was just-
they have hot dogs and
He was
burgers.
he was
They did have
appreciating the
those,
fact that
right.
they had food.
But
and
you had to
stuff.
choose one. I'm not right. I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, hot dog or hamburger, but whatever. No, it was nice. I brought my wife, Steffi, and Georgie. I had a great time. They had bouncy houses and stuff.
Oh,
Oh, I
nice.
wish I was
Awesome,
there.
man.
Yeah. I was thinking about bringing you, but
Just
I
for
knew
the
we'd never
bouncy
get you out of that
house.
bouncy
No.
house.
I would have stayed right there.
So there's that, and then Isabella came with us. And even though she was like, she wouldn't really socialize, trying to get a teenage girl to hang out with her parents for any amount of time was
dude,
pretty amazing.
That's a
Yeah.
success right
So
there.
right
man.
there, and
Yeah.
we had a great time. And they had raffles, which of course, I didn't win anything,
Really?
as usual. But I do want to give a shout out to 2 of our early adopter podcast listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much,
OGs.
Lauren and Jocelyn.
Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah,
We're happy
appreciate
to
it.
have you guys
Thank
spread
you
the
very
word.
much.
Tell all your friends.
Right, and thank you, Judy Marrero.
Judy.
Judy
Thank
also
you,
won some
Judy.
prizes tonight, I think. So good for
Yeah.
you. I hope you guys are going to
Awesome.
listen to this when it comes out. Spread the word, and they would like to come and join us at some point.
Yeah,
so that'd
that'd
be great.
cool. And maybe we'll have prizes someday where we'll get some incentives out here. Or we'll try to get people to the podcast by like giving out T-shirts or something like that.
We
But
got to start doing that.
That's why we
Yeah.
did video. We giving you all this.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there other stuff we're supposed
We-
to gift
I
them
mean,
with?
we
I-
give
we're-
you a little bit more each time.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna get we're gonna have an audience, and we're just gonna get one of those T-shirt cannons, and we're just gonna sit up here just firing T-shirt
Live,
cannons into the
live
crowd.
audience.
We're
That'd
gonna
be
sh-
awesome.
Yeah, I was about to say. Otherwise, we're just shooting cannons at our camera, and that's not going to go well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
we're
not
going to
ex-
have to clear out all of the skeletons and the bones and the catacombs on the other side of the room,
catacombs,
you
yeah.
know, so,
Oh yeah, we're back down to
We're
the
still-
catacombs, obviously.
yeah.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
It's
I did
dusty down
say,
here.
I don't know if you guys remember, but in the beginning of last week's podcast, when I was hosting, I said the date wrong.
No, we saw it. I watched it about 3 or
I
4
did say
times
the
in
date
slow
wrong.
mo.
Times, yeah.
I said
recorded
August
it. I have it saved.
1st.
I was like, I told you it was going to make it sound like it was August 1st.
Yeah.
And it did. It sounded
Yeah,
just
even-
like August 1st.
It's crazy.
If we shut the sound off and I watched it, I can hear it first.
I can
though.
hear
Yeah, I think everybody who was,
First.
everybody heard that was the first thing they heard even before the podcast even started.
the-
They already heard that. They
they
already
just
knew.
knew that was happening. Oh my
Somebody
god.
knew it.
I
He's
think
gonna
you
say
got
the
the year
wrong
right
date.
this time. So
I think I said the year right. Did I
you
say
did,
2019?
no, but he did
Yeah.
it right too. I think
Yeah.
originally we started it was like
Well-
2015 or
Well,
something.
that said
No,
1919.
I actually did say
I think you
19.
might have, because I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
rightfully so. That's what
Right.
he was confusing his birthday
Right,
with the year
right.
of the
Yeah.
podcast,
Absolutely.
the current year, which I get that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's true.
You know. But Rob, so what's the difference between like the other day you were telling me about how you gave a presentation at work, and it's a pretty important topic. I kind of wanted to bring it up briefly about you went to a high school or a middle school
Middle school,
rather.
oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, yeah. And you gave like a presentation, right, more or
Mhm.
less. So
Yeah,
what
no, I'll
exactly?
tell you real quick.
So
I
I
went
was
to,
half listening when you told me. So
no, that's all right. I'm used to
it's
that.
Typical.
That's
thing.
half
I'm
more
always
than
like,
Joe
yeah.
listens to me, so
Yeah, right.
that's good.
Yeah, I'm not
Well,
listening to you now.
I'm doing
either.
50% better than usual.
I'm going to shut my headphones off while he goes through this segment, okay?
Okay. Why don't you go upstairs and see if you can't get fully
I'll
avoided
bring the
from your
dog down
bladder.
and have the dog sit in my lap, and I'll just pet Molly.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds good.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'll just this way I could just completely blank everything out of my mind
Yeah.
when I'm with the dog,
Well,
right? You know
we
that.
wouldn't want to force any actual information into that hard head.
No.
Right. Exactly.
But no, yeah. Anyway, it was a great opportunity. It was a local school. I won't say it just because I don't have
Yeah,
permission.
sure,
I
sure.
don't want to upset anybody.
Of course.
But it was underserved area over in a very urban area, close to where we live right here. And I just went to speak to him. I was super grateful to be able to speak to the 6th and 7th graders. There's some 7th graders in there. And just talk about immunizations,
Yeah.
what are people's thoughts about them, any concerns they might have, what do they think they are if they don't even know. And we talked about herd immunity, which really
Right.
just means that the higher the number of vaccines, and it's really just mathematics,
Mhm.
the higher the vaccine rate, people getting vaccines, the more protection we offer for people who can't be vaccinated. So you're super elderly, maybe very
Okay.
young, people who are immunocompromised and they can't get vaccinated.
Right.
Right.
So I guess the picture really was to more not like a lecture, but to understand what are their thoughts and
Oh,
feelings.
interesting. That's
as,
great.
what did they think about it? And it was really nice. It was a really good bi-directional communication. The kids were really involved, so that's nice. I'm usually everybody tunes out like our
Yeah.
co-host.
Like our
So,
co-host
like,
here.
Yeah, no, I'm not tuned
Okay,
out.
he's
I'm
there.
listening.
No, but yeah. So
Yeah, did you know that we're doing a podcast right now?
Yeah.
or no?
I wasn't really sure. 'Cause,
Oh, yeah.
After I was thinking about what I should build next.
Yeah, right.
So I was kind of just focused
Building
on that.
things. Well, yesterday you guys missed it. Maybe we'll put it up in the archive footage on the website. We're sitting here testing the microphone volumes, and my dad's over here speaking into the microphone. He's like, "Hey, hello, I can't hear anything, can't hear anything." And then it turns out he was standing basically on the other side of
Oh.
the table.
We don't.
He
do we have-
wasn't. He wasn't standing like
I
speaking
didn't-
into his microphone.
he was
Yeah.
like
He was standing
5,
like
6 feet
I was
away.
like, I can't hear
Imagine
myself
I'm
in my
over here,
headphones.
and I'm talking over here. I'm like, "Oh, I can't hear anything." It sounds
Hello?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Hello?
Exactly.
But I couldn't hear myself. I was
and it
true.
was
I
Rob
couldn't.
and Rob and I couldn't breathe. We just
Yeah,
started
they were laughing hysterical.
I thought I
my
was gonna
gosh.
die. I think I did die.
I was laughing inside.
Yeah.
I was glad if it was filmed. It would have been a great
Oh
outtake.
man.
We're gonna have our tape on our. If you go to our website, we have an archive site. There's nothing there now. We're gonna start filling it with funny things that happen.
Go there now.
Before the show
Yeah.
and after the show.
And you'll enjoy not
and
much.
there's so many funny things that happen. We always have some of the funniest material right before we start the show.
That's what we always say, right? We always
Yeah.
like, "Oh, save it for the podcast. Save it
Yeah.
for the podcast."
It's
Like,
like,
when
let's
Rob was
zip
telling me
it
that
because-
story, I was half listening, but I'm also like, you know what, this could be good for the podcast
Yeah, oh,
because I mean, first of all, immunization obviously is a polarizing issue right now. It's pretty big,
Yeah.
Right.
and obviously you're very involved in it. And when you were telling about this presentation, when you said it was a middle school, I felt that it was even more important because I feel like that's right around the age where you have a lot of kids that are very impressionable and they're very willing
Right,
to,
absolutely.
and I feel like that's a,
Yeah, yeah.
I was
I
very
think,
happy to hear you were doing that.
You got to get them while they're young. Remember
Well,
that stuff.
that sounded
Impressionable.
creepy the way you
Yeah,
said it.
No,
I just pictured you driving
like-
around a dark van.
get 'em when
I
they're young.
mean,
Puppy and
when they're
candy.
Giving
when
out
they're-
immunizations.
You know what? I'm gonna
Hey,
stay.
Kurt,
Come in here. I
wanna
got
come-
something to keep you safe.
You want to come my van? I'll give you a measles shot.
I'm just gonna shut my mouth. I won't say anymore.
No, so the two things that were really good takeaway messages. One, that it's important to. We talked about the importance of verifying quality information,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Unlike what we do here in our preparation for the podcast.
yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
So, go out and don't take my word for it. Learn, it'll serve you for the rest of your life.
Yes.
And the other thing is that when you choose to immunize, you're not making just a decision for yourself. You're actively participating in helping your community.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That's a great message, man.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. And, I don't know.
The thing that gets me is like you talk about the immunization things. I work in, like you, I work in the healthcare, but I work in the other end of it where
You
you're
work in, like,
providing.
manufacturing, more or
You're a
less,
nurse
right?
where you're a direct care person, whereas I'm a
Medical professional.
Well,
Rob,
yeah,
Rob
medical
would be, yeah,
professional,
medical
and I
professional.
work in this.
no one's ever said
provider. I
that
don't even
about
know
me
what
before.
No, but I work in the other end where we're providing all the equipment or services. Like we make machines that
Right.
test blood, right?
So
And it's
you're
in the health.
formulations, right?
Yeah,
so for people not
formulations.
really understanding.
And we basically
is
work
everybody.
with
Which is basically
chemicals
everyone, including me.
and we the things that we put out there are for tests for people when they go in to see a doctor or they have a blood test and
Yeah.
they have to get
Right.
tested for something,
Mhm.
whatever it happens to be, leukemia, whatever, lupus or whatever.
Yeah.
They use our formula,
I mean, the centrifuges,
our
right, and
reagents
all that, yeah.
in the machines to calibrate
Yeah.
the machines basically before they test the person.
Right. Incredibly
and,
important.
No,
it's,
it's
definitely. Although it's not consumable goods, if it gets contaminated with things,
Yeah.
right, it can mess up the test, and
I would
it
assume,
could give a false kind of a reading
Sure.
for the person
Change
taking
someone's
the
life.
particular test.
Yeah.
And people come into work, they're sneezing, I'm like, you
It's
know what? And there's
really?
a rule. There's an actual rule
Yeah.
where if you're sick, you're not supposed to come to work.
Right.
Because you're not coming into like working in a construction site.
Me as an accountant, okay, yeah, you're in close
Yeah.
proximity, but worst case scenario, you give somebody
not
a cold,
gonna-
I can come to work and I can set up my computer with a runny nose.
Right,
It's that big of a
you're not
deal.
potentially going to kill a million people or
Right.
whatever because you sneezed into a batch or you
Yes.
contaminated something that now is going out for for machines that are going to test people for particular diseases,
Mhm.
and now they're somehow skewed because there's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised
and
they let
that's-
you on the premise, Dad. Just in general.
Well, no, they
They're just,
don't let
you
me
know,
on the premise.
Usually, you have to sneak into work every day.
Yeah, they don't let me on the premise.
Yeah.
They keep me outside, and they have a security guard there. They let me come that far, and then they say, okay, work's over. You can go home now. And that's it. So
I
I
guess
have an
they-
easy job.
At
I
least
just
they
drive
don't
to work.
discriminate
You
against
do.
mental illness.
Yeah. Right.
They don't, and I don't care if they did. That would be fine. I have no problem with that.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. The people don't
Right.
come in. They don't get. They get the. We have the flu shots every year that they provide.
You do that, yeah.
And
great.
I've the past prior 2 years I got the flu both years.
You did, yeah.
All right, the first year I got the flu. 2 years ago I got the flu. I
Mhm.
didn't. I chose not to take the flu vaccine, and I got flu type B, I think it was,
Mhm.
and it was bad. I had it for I was out of work for a week or whatever, and then the year after last year I got the shot.
Oh,
And-
right, yeah.
But I got the flu, but it wasn't nearly as bad. It
Yeah.
was half the
Which is,
.
Rob, correct me if I'm wrong, the flu shot can lessen the side effects? of it?
Severity and duration.
Yeah.
So the thing with the flu shot is I don't want to sound like it's just a guess because that's a very reductionist way to say it. That's so super simplistic.
Okay.
There are very smart people who get together and they do make an educated hypothesis on what type of strains, the 4 biggest, 2 A's and 2 B's,
Right.
Okay.
that based on previous years and a bunch of other information I don't even pretend to understand
Yeah.
to figure out what may be common this year.
Right.
Right.
But there's a number of factors that play into that. Some years they're just not very good. That
Really?
definitely
Oh,
happens.
no shit. Wow.
Where they have low efficacy. We might be talking about 20%. In fact, a 60 to 70% year is actually quite good.
Wow, really?
But
Barely
so you
over
think of
half.
it, yeah, barely
Wow.
over half is an excellent year.
Wow.
And the
that's
reason is
crazy.
you have, and I don't want to go too deep down
Yeah,
this rabbit
yeah,
hole,
yeah.
but there's antigenic drift and there's antigenic shift.
Okay.
A drift means when the virus changes or mutates a little bit. Don't forget these viruses change with your own DNA, and then also animals, and they pass between swines, and that's legitimate. Like farmers would have swine who get flu, or you get bird flu. Those
So-
things aren't
Right.
funny
That's-
names that we give flu. That's a legitimate. That's
What-
where the flu is originating from.
Okay.
Also from regional areas there is different. So if we say, to make it really simple, say we're making, and this is super simple, but say we're making the antibody for you so that you can recognize, your body will recognize what that
Yeah,
foreign invader, in this case the flu, looks like.
Yep.
Say we're processing triangles for A, squares for B. And they're good that year, and we do get triangles for A and squares for B, but the square is a little mutated. You're not going to recognize that.
Oh, okay.
And that's just a drip. And then in 2009, we had an actual antigenic shift. That was I think that was that swine flu that year, or it was H1N1?
H1N1.
And we were woefully unprepared. And so say we manufactured triangles and squares, and it looked like a rhombus.
Wow.
It was changed so much.
So you have no
it
way.
offered very little to no protection.
Holy crap.
Wow.
So what do you do at that level? Do you have just immediately it becomes like a just
it becomes an endemic or a pandemic.
A medical emergency. I mean,
Yeah,
at that
absolutely.
point, all hands on deck trying to figure out.
So, and
how
it
we
is
can
serious
solve
like
this,
that.
right?
Many people die from the flu.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or are
Especially the
severely
elderly, right?
ill, right? Yeah.
It's
and,
more
and
the-
cost people work days. Some
Right.
people, can't afford work days
Well,
off. Maybe
apparently
they
not,
might,
according to Dad. These
Right.
fucking assholes are still showing
No,
up.
they
That's
at
what's
show
work.
up for
happening.
work. I
His-
said, stay home.
His coworkers aren't giving it. They're
Actually,
vomiting in their barrels, and now we're getting sick.
Actually,
exactly.
2 years ago when I got the flu, I got the flu from a guy who came to work
I
and he
believe
was
it.
sick, and he got me
God,
sick.
It's crazy.
So now
And I
the
was like,
much more.
and not only are you getting me sick, you're probably contaminating the
contaminating everyone
product.
else.
And that's probably even more dangerous.
That's crazy.
So the other big part of it, and this is much more common, is that people get the flu vaccine because they see people with the flu. Now they're worried about them getting the flu, so they get the flu vaccine, but it takes 2 weeks for incubation. So they've already been exposed.
Yeah.
You don't get sick from that attenuated flu vaccine you got.
right.
You get sick because you already have it. By the time your flu vaccine kicks in, you're already starting to express those signs and symptoms.
Wow, man.
So
That is
Yeah.
insane. Yeah. Because there's a lot of myths about like the flu shot and all that, right? Like there's the common
Sure.
myth where the flu shot gives you the flu.
gives you illness,
That's a
right?
very common
Yeah, I
thing.
can,
You
I
hear
guess,
that,
right?
I
That,
guess.
is that true?
Or is that,
It
not,
can
is
give
that
you,
true or not true?
No, it's a
right?
myth. Yeah,
That's
you
a-
can't
It
get
is
the
a
flu
myth.
from
That is a myth, though.
right.
Yeah.
You probably already have it in your system if you get sick
Right.
right after getting the shot.
Well,
So
yeah,
now you
Rob,
can feel
so-
ill because it builds an inflammatory process. So any kind of inflammation will make you feel you could feel a slight headache, even maybe a low grade fever, but you will not get the flu. from
Okay.
it.
All right. That's good to know. So
Yeah.
everybody out there, get your flu shots, and if you're feeling sick, it's probably because
Mhm.
you were making out with a bunch of weird people at the bar.
Or you were just
Right.
hanging
Which
out.
is what I mean. That's what
or
I
you
do.
were
I'll just
just-
walk into a bar and start making out with random people. That's
Right.
just
That's how we met.
Either
that's,
that
just,
or you-
that's how me and Rob
either that or-
originally met. I didn't even know he knew my dad.
No,
We
that was
worked together.
coincidence,
I was just
right.
like, oh my god, that's so like he
Yeah.
came to my house one day. I was like, oh
He
my
was
god,
like,
hey,
"Mm."
listen, my oh wow, that's weird.
And that's how
What's
we
up?
ended up on the podcast.
And then Rob was like, why don't we just we're kind of
Why don't
loosely
we just do
related
a
now because we
podcast?
made out at the bar, so let's do a podcast.
Yeah,
That's kind of what
yeah,
happened.
exactly.
Touche,
But
yeah.
yeah, man. So it's pretty cool. So speaking of, I just mentioned, I love how my segues are pretty great. As you can tell, I'm a phenomenal host. I said the word loosely related, so now I'm going to go ahead
So
and I'm
that-
going to say. So I have a little thing planned. This is again back to our topic, loosely related. Okay.
Okay.
I have a little thing I wanted to do for you guys. Obviously, I'm hosting right now. You guys, when it comes to movie trivia, that's kind of my thing, right? And that's all me. But I wanted to do something that was more about encompassing multiple different topics. So I had an idea of something we could do. This is a little segment, and maybe this will become a staple going forward every other episode, whatever. And it's going to be called Loosely Related Trivia.
Loosely
That's what we're gonna
related
do.
trivia.
Loosely
Maybe we
related
should
trivia.
have
Oof.
called our podcast that.
Yeah,
Mm.
we could do that, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, absolutely not.
No,
No, we won't
not
do
at
that.
all.
We've
Definitely
had
not
enough
at
trying
all.
to figure out names. We
I'm
got
never
names, we're
going
staying
back
with
to
the-
that. We have
we're
enough
staying
problems
the
in
name.
the future.
Took us-
Challenges.
the name now.
Yeah, exactly. But so my thought process was this. So I have a cool idea. So what we're gonna do is this. It's gonna be a little bit of verses we got going on. So it's gonna be a little bit of. So we're talking about loosely related trivia.
Okay.
So I'm gonna lay out the rules. All right. So
Alright.
this is what we're talking about here. Okay.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. We're gonna have loosely related topics, and how it's gonna work is this. So each person is going to get 2 minutes to answer as many questions as they can
God.
out of what I am going to read to you out loud. All right.
All right.
So, when you get an answer correct, you're going to hear this sound. Okay? When you get an answer wrong, you are going to hear this sound. All right. So, the idea would be if you can't get the answer, no idea, you can pass and, you just keep moving on. So it's
you could just pass. Say
you could just pass, move
Not
on
to
to the
each
next
other,
one,
you're
no
just
big
passing
deal.
You
your
just
own
pass.
Oh
it on
yeah,
the
it's
question
just that's
if you're
why
not
it's all
sure.
it is. So
It's one person at a time.
The
So
simple idea
it's just
is
rifle.
this.
It's just like rapid fire.
Just rapid fire,
You try
no
to get
thinking.
As many
You're
as
gonna
you can
get. I
All
think
right.
I'm gonna test out. I was gonna say 2 minutes. I might do 3 minutes. We'll see how it works out. But I might do. We'll do 2 for the first round. Maybe a second round we'll do 3 because we're gonna do multiple rounds of this. So
Okay.
Simple, straightforward. It's not going to be any of this having to sit there for an hour and a half and think about Dad and all the
I'm gonna be
directors. He
embarrassed.
can't remember all the actors. He
That's
forgot.
good. Thank God for
And,
that.
us having to give him hints and stuff like that. It's going to be real quick, rapid fire. You only get 2 minutes. So here's how it's going to work. So the guesser, so that each question is going to have a certain topic. So the idea is simply this. If I'm going to read the question to you. If you get the answer right away, you get 2 points for every unassisted correct answer. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you are allowed to ask me if you're not sure. You're allowed to ask me, okay, what topic is this question? And I'll tell you what the topic is, and it'll probably make it easier for you to
The
get.
general subject.
General subject.
All right.
But you only get 1 point if you get the answer right
Okay.
after that. All right?
All right.
At the end of it, I'm going to go ahead and tally all of these up. Going to go ahead and tell you how many you got right, how many you got wrong. So,
What
as
if we
of right
just
then,
stare with a blank expression?
you could do that, I suppose.
I'll be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
I usually do that. I do that a lot. I'm good at that. Can
You
we
are
have a
very good at
contest
that.
of just like how many names you can forget, or how many directors' names you can forget?
Well, see, the
Joe,
problem
you
is,
I
forgot
would
'em
win
all.
that hands down.
well, see, that's the issue. The issue would be you don't want to play Roger Federer in tennis, right? That's not fair to
I
us.
do.
You're gonna. You think you could beat Roger Federer
Yeah,
in tennis?
I do.
Like,
He always has the one solution. No,
I
I'm
don't think
serious,
I can-
guys. If I just had one shot at him, I would do this one.
No,
I've been practicing this one stroke. I've got him.
I'd
got
do
'em.
something. I would just
one
run
stroke
at
and we're
him.
good.
I wouldn't even try to hit the ball. I'll just run at him every time I hit it to him and try to full board tackle him before he could hit
I
the
don't know
ball
if that's
back.
a good idea.
You really would do that.
No, but I
Unbelievable.
just want to play him just for the sake of playing him, seeing if I can win like just one game out of an entire
One
set.
game.
One game.
Maybe like a point.
1
you would
point, yeah,
be-
1 point.
You would be lucky if you won. If you could return a serve of Roger Federer's, I would say
We could
okay,
I
you
can
be
return
semi-
it. That I can
I
do.
would
That I know
say
I can do.
If he nailed in a first
Now,
serve,
or is he talking about like he's gonna hit it? You're gonna let it bounce past you, go pick it up, and that's your return.
No, no,
That's me.
no.
No,
I
hey,
can return
hey,
his.
man,
I
throw it
know
again.
that I
I
could
got it.
return his service.
All
I know
right.
I could. You could too. I know you don't think you can, but you could. You could.
I like the unyielding
I do love
confidence.
That's
He has
not-
unyielding
I
confidence in
do.
you.
I
man.
honestly do. I'm not
All right.
kidding. I
Well,
do.
let's get back to reality.
All right.
All right, let's get back to reality.
All right. So let's do this.
Anyway, so the idea is going to be, like I said, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to go ahead and figure out exactly how many questions each person got correct. So now, Dad, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I already have
You're
a
going to ask me to replace myself with somebody more knowledgeable of trivia?
You're going to have, all right, so what I'm going to ask you to do legitimately is, I already have like 100 tabs open on my computer.
So
'cause,
I'm
you
not
know,
getting
we're
there.
so legit.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to open up maybe like a calculator or whatever kind of ad, and all I'm going to ask you to do is Rob's going to go first. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to go ahead and just write down.
Oh
every
my
time he
God!
gets-
I thought there was math
every-
involved for a minute. I
every-
was like, what the frick?
Every time Rob gets a question right, just mark it down somewhere so we can keep track of how many he got right.
All right. Hold on a second. Let me see if we have.
All right.
How many times? All right. I don't even know.
All right.
how-
So here's the best way to
Use
do it.
your
The best
phone
way
calculator.
Yeah, exactly.
All
So the
right,
best
I'll
way to do
just-
it is this. Just get the calculator out ready to go. So
I'll-
keep
I'll-
in mind,
So.
I'm going to tell you how many points. So,
all right. So
well, I mean, if you pay
I
attention,
don't have to do anything then.
No, you don't. All you got to do is just add it up. So every time
So
Rob
if he
gets,
says 2 or 1, you add that 2 or 1.
yeah.
To it.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, even so, I mean, I don't even have to necessarily say 2 or 1.
I'm going to
it's
start
just simple.
myself off with like 20 points, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do we need a timer? Or what?
Yeah, so I'm gonna I got a timer set up right here. That's why I have so
Alright.
many tabs opened up. So, Dad, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna say 2 or 1. The point is this: if Rob gets the answer right away, and he doesn't have to ask me for help, it's 2 points.
Okay.
If you hear Rob say to me, "What's the topic?" and then he gets it right, that's 1
That's
point.
one
If Rob says pass, that's 0. Or if he gets it, if he just keeps moving on, that's 0. Okay.
All
so
right.
you add 2 every time he just gets it out right. You get 1 every time he asks me for help. 0 for passing it.
And if
All
I
right?
say bingo, it's 5 points.
Says bingo, it's 5 points. All right.
All right.
Let's try
If
that.
you
Bingo.
forget, and for Dad, every answer you forget, Rob gets 5 points. So keep that in mind for
Every-
for us.
Yes.
Every
second
answer
round.
what?
I could just do that blank.
Every
book
answer
then.
you forget, Rob gets 5 points.
Oh, then the game is over then.
Yeah. All right.
Is
so
that really part of the rules?
You never know, Joe. You
That
did
can't
pull
be
it out
part
on
of the rules.
them.
That's completely
You pulled it
unfair.
out against Joe and Joey against
I
the,
did.
on the movie
you really
trivia.
did. It was
I
super
did.
fair.
So
It
are
was
we
super
gonna
fair. It wasn't
incorporate-
rigged at all.
Are we going to incorporate similar
So
endgame
I
rules
don't think
to
we're
this
gonna
if
have to
things get out of
because
hand?
I don't think we're gonna have to because the big caveat for this one is the entire quiz is fill in the blank. Okay, so it's entirely fill in the blank. So now,
So my whole head is a blank. So if I consider filling in my whole head with the information that we learned today, is that considered
No,
filling
that would
in
be
the blank?
excellent.
No, that
you
would
mean
be-
you would
yeah,
fill your
exactly.
head in the blank.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That's why.
So the idea is this. So I'll give you the idea. So in round 1, the possible topics that the question could be from is you got movies, TV, music, gaming, literature, and geography.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, those are the topics. So it's going to all be filled in the blank. You're going to get the hang of it real quick,
Okay.
okay? You're going to get the hang of it real quick. So anyway, Rob, you're going to have 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right? You are going to have 2 minutes. When I say go.
It's
All right?
giving me anxiety. What the hell?
All right? Ready?
Yeah.
Go. All right. Gone with the
Wind.
6 blank under.
Feet.
Can't always get what you
Want.
trivial.
Pursuit.
The blank in the rye.
Catcher.
United.
Airways.
And all right. Guess who's blank to dinner?
Coming.
The blank Prince of Bel Air.
Fresh Prince. Fresh.
Red Hot Chili.
Peppers.
Sonic the
Hedgehog.
of blank and men.
Mice.
Costa.
Rika.
Hot tub blank machine.
A time.
The facts of blank.
Life.
Every blank you take.
Step. Oh, breath. Shit.
Blank Mario Kart.
Super.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the blank.
To the galaxy.
Saudi blank.
Arabia.
Blank night and good luck.
Blank night. Good luck. Good night.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? That was right. My bad, Dad. Sorry. America's Next Top blank.
Model.
The blank side of the moon.
Dark side.
Blank combat.
Mortal.
The blank of the Mohicans.
Last.
Blank Korea.
South. North.
No blank for old men.
Oh, no.
10,
Crap.
9, 8.
No country.
The blank Big Bang Theory.
The Big Bang.
Okay. Time is up. So, Dad.
All right, the total, if I got everything right, comes out to 46 points.
Korea. Blank. Gonorrhea.
Well, the North thing, is that based on a movie or you said it was based on movies?
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah, no, it's
TV.
based on geography. So the funny thing was,
Geography, so it
the
could've been-
hilarious
It was
part of
south.
that was, oh, you know what? Oh my goodness, Rob, you know what? I didn't even look at the answers for that one. North or south was both correct
All right,
for
so
that
you had-
one.
then you
So
had
you know what?
48
That's on me.
points.
I get negative like 10 points because
Yeah,
also first
it's
of all, for
okay.
the first
This
couple
is-
questions, I wasn't even using the right or wrong sounds.
That's
So
Carolina.
This is a work in progress.
no, it is. It is a work in
Carolina,
progress.
north or south? Nope, it's not north or south.
Wrong.
Not North or South.
It was
no.
Sweet Carolina.
All right.
All right. So how many points did he
He
end up
had a
with,
total
man?
of 48 if you add the 2 points.
All
He
right,
had 46. He had the
points.
South Korea correct, so he has 48 points if I added correctly.
All right.
So I just kept hitting the 2. Now, to make sure I did it right, if you
Yes.
got the correct answer, it's 2 without assistance.
Yes,
One
exactly.
if you, with assistance. He
yes.
didn't have any
He
assistant
didn't ask any
questions.
assistance, and he got 2
and
wrong.
obviously, if he gets it wrong, it's just
It's nothing. Yep, you got
Okay.
it. So 48
So
is
he had
definitely
48
correct. All right,
points.
cool. All right, I have that written down. All right, Dad. So that was Rob got 48 in that one. So now you are going to I'm going to take off with you. Okay.
All right.
So where did
Are
we
you all
leave
set?
off? Let's see where
Those
we left
questions
off.
were easy, by the way, and the one you
Oh,
got
they
wrong.
They get harder.
The one you got
They get
wrong
harder.
was the catch, not the catcher in the rye. You
Nope.
got the I knew it right away too.
Why don't we worry about what you need to
All right,
know?
yeah,
Stop-
because I'm probably gonna
stop
now the ones he's
trouncing
All
gonna
right, so
me.
now,
the
Rob,
ones he's
you're
gonna
do
give
the
me
same
now
thing,
is Christopher, like he's gonna say all different directors' names and like actors from obscure movies. Doesn't even have to be obscure movies. It could be like a movie I saw last night, and I won't remember the person's name.
Right.
Because the thing is,
But see, this is going to be easier for you. I guarantee you. This.
All
will
right,
be, the
no,
reason why I
I
chose
think
this
so, too.
particular quiz is
quick
because to fill in the blank, it's going to be a
Yeah.
little bit easier. I
Yeah,
think,
I
I
think
think you're
it'll
going to
be
have an
fine.
easier time with
Yeah,
it.
I
All right,
think
Rob,
so,
you
too.
ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, Dad. Let us do what we got to do.
go.
All right. Sergeant Pepper's Blank Hearts Club Band.
Lonely
Tomb Blank.
Raider
Charlie and the Blank Factory.
chocolate
Blank Zealand.
new
Bean Blank Malkovich.
John
Blank in the City.
pass
Okay. The I'm sorry,
Hot
guns.
in the city.
Nope. Guns in
Roses.
the blank of Zelda.
Oh, the sword.
A blank of two cities.
Tail.
Democratic Republic of the blank.
Pass.
All right. Dead blank society.
Poets.
Whose line is it blank?
Anyway.
Sweet home blank.
Alabama.
Grand blank auto.
Theft.
The grapes of blank.
Wrath.
Saint blank and Nevis.
Pass.
Blank times at Ridgemont High.
Fast.
Are you blank of the dark?
Scared.
Life in the fast blank.
Lane.
Shoots and blank.
Ladders.
For whom the blank tolls.
The bell.
All right, I'll give you that one. Malcolm in the blank.
Middle.
Palpa New blank.
Pass.
There will be blank.
Blood.
Blank against the machine.
Rage.
Blank Gear Solid.
Metal.
And blank and prejudice.
Pride.
I'll give you that one. Right under the wire.
Yeah, he got
I'll
that.
give you
All
that
right.
one.
Good job, buddy.
Good job. What did
All
you
right,
get
now go
for
over the
that one,
ones that
Rob?
I didn't get because the one I didn't
Sex
hear
in
you
the
exactly.
City.
Sex in the City.
The
Right,
Congo.
The Democratic Republic of the
Of the
Congo. Nice
Congo.
one, Rob. That was
Nice.
good,
Good
man.
job,
Good
Rob.
one. That's a tough one. It was Saint Kitts and Nevis. I
Saint
don't know if I'm
Kitts and
saying that
Nevis.
right. Nevis.
No, I didn't
Nevis.
know
I'm
that.
not
Nevis.
trying to say
Nevis.
Nevis.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
I do know that one.
Yeah.
It was
Legend.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, you
Was
said
the
scared.
one, and
That's
then
a good
Legend
one.
Are
of
You?
Zelda. Yeah,
Okay.
Legend of Zelda was the one.
Sword of Zelda.
Sword of Zelda.
What was it? Legend. Right.
Yeah, Legend.
I know that one.
Yeah.
I
So
couldn't.
what else
yeah,
was it?
that one wasn't.
Oh,
there.
Papua
Pretty
New
good.
Guinea. Papua New Guinea was the other one.
Papua New Guinea.
Yep, Papua New Guinea.
That one I
Yep.
wouldn't know.
Yep.
No, I wouldn't know that
All
either.
right.
Dude,
So-
he got 42.
42.
42.
All right,
All right,
wow.
I'll
All right,
take
so that's
it.
a
I'll
close.
take
That's a
it.
close
That was
first
such a
round.
bad
I'll
fuck.
take it. Yeah.
Let's get ready.
Let's get
We have
do
to
it
like
again.
prepare for
You
a
gotta-
high five.
we
We're
do,
so
we're
You guys
bad.
have
suck
to
it.
plan it in advance.
We like jump.
We'll meet at 1 o'clock for the high
We'll
five.
go for high five and do like headbutts that we didn't really mean to and walk away.
Like
with
a
some bruises
gouged
on
in the
the-
eye one
Yeah.
year. I
We
think
were
that
like
was
this.
the 08 Giants
Yeah.
football Super Bowl.
The 08
Yeah.
Giants Super Bowl.
I got
caused a
gouged
lot
right in
of-
the eye for a high five. There was incidents.
I think there
Yeah.
was probably a flux of like real eye gouging incidents.
not
after
to mention
in New York State.
Yes.
your sister-in-law
And it
got
probably
pretty
had to-
rowdy.
Oh, she got crazy. And
She
we-
got pretty
Oh.
rowdy.
And Carol, if you're watching right now, you know
I
what
didn't
we're
know
talking
she was
about.
capable of that.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
puts on the broccoli hair during those episodes. Is that what we're
Giants.
talking about?
Yeah,
the
that's what-
broccoli
that's what we're
Yeah.
talking
Oh, is that
about.
what you're going? When
Yeah,
she
it's
puts
called
it
the
up, and
broccoli
she
hair.
puts
The broccoli hair,
When the
man.
Giants are doing bad, she wants them to come
Mm.
back. She puts her hair up in a big broccoli bun, and then they usually do come back from that too.
Oh yeah. All right. So you know what,
I'm
Rob's?
I'm
You know
lip
what?
syncing it so you
We're gonna
can't see
take-
me on the
We're
camera.
gonna take a quick break in between rounds, real quick break,
Take a
and then we're
quick
gonna
break.
come back and we're gonna do round 2. I think
Commercial
Rob
break.
is the official winner of round 1. We come back to round 2.
All right, I'm coming back hard and heavy.
And
on
we're gonna
round
do it.
2. All right,
All right.
All
we'll
right.
be right back.
All right, Brown Hoth.
All right. We are back. We are back from our brief little intermission in between rounds,
Yeah,
and we are going to be going in. Oh, you know what? One thing I just wanted to sort of announce, and I kind of forgot, and I feel bad because it's August 19th. Or I'm sorry, August. I'm sorry. Wow, look at that. See, Dad,
like
you're
father, like son.
it's a
rubbing
weird.
off.
It's an infection. It's an
rubbing off.
infection.
It's
See,
It's
an
from that.
inherited-
It's from that Lyme
it's an
disease. It's in your brain.
It's an inherited
It's in your
trait.
CNS.
Well, you
Maybe
know
it's
what
just
it
not.
is?
Maybe it's not that I'm 56. It's an inherited trait.
well, the whole thing is you didn't get your immunization for memory loss, and now it's the
Right.
herd effect. The herd effect. I didn't ever think I needed to be
protected him.
immunized against it, and then next thing you know, you spread it to me, and now I have
Correct.
no memory.
This is the reason why we're gonna have to have
It's
you,
the whole
Rob.
thing.
You're gonna have to do another thing here, maybe on
He's
the
gonna do
show.
it, and-
We'll have to do a whole episode.
I'm just gonna
on
bring that health van over here
Yeah.
while I immunize you guys.
well, he's gonna have to just do it for our family in
Try-
private, like
try-
for our family.
finding out how to immunize yourself against Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's,
I
or
wish
at
that
the
was a
very.
thing,
I wish it was
honestly.
Alzheimer's, but that's a whole different
I
thing.
wish that
Yeah.
was
I think for
something.
you, it's more about the fact that hey, how to immunize myself against what movie was that I forgot about?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
or
That
what
would be
that
good.
director's
Yeah, that would
name
be
of the
good.
person.
All right. Honestly, it's not that I would have any problem helping you. I feel strange sometimes helping like family and friends like that
Legitimately,
because
but
I don't want
on
to
a
let anyone
serious
down.
level.
But the other thing is, every time I say, okay, Joe, give me the vaccines, he's always pulling his pants down. Like, not every vaccine got to go in your booty, Joe.
Every
Well,
single
He just
thing.
automatically pulls
Like,
it down and bends
This
over.
is I'm giving you 2 Tylenol. What the hell are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
Automatically, he's just like,
It's one of my best
I'm
features.
not putting a suppository in it. What are you doing?
It's one of my best features.
Oh, I think
Right.
this is one of those things. What? I thought we were just doing like I'm checking your fever. What are you doing?
Then he's always like testing our friendship. He's like, what if a snake bit me in my ass? Would you suck out the venom?
Yeah.
What? Where are you gonna get a snake gonna bite you?
Well, I keep.
Actually, I saw something the other day. Some guy got
Really?
bit. Of course, he was running like 50 miles. I don't know. That's what you get for exercising.
You got some crazy shit, man. Like I watch a lot of Joe Rogan's podcasts or whatever.
Yeah.
So he runs like he he lives out in L.A. and he does his runs in the Hollywood Hills and he runs with his dog.
Oh,
And unfortunately, one time his dog got bit by a fucking rattlesnake.
Oh, that's pretty
And
serious.
he took a picture of it on Instagram. His dog's okay, completely fine. His dog is adorable, by the way. Marshall has his own Instagram. If you don't follow it,
the
it's
dog
hysterical.
survived a rattlesnake bite.
So it got
That's
bit on,
pretty
on the
crazy.
nose. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Again, I don't know the specifics. I'm believe it or not, I'm not a snake expert. I know it's weird. You would think that I was, but I'm actually not.
I
I
used
thought that's
to-
what
but,
you were
uh,
minoring.
I
That's
used
what
to
I was
love
minoring,
catching
yeah.
snakes when I was a kid. I loved catching
Yeah.
snakes. We used to
Yeah.
catch them where I lived in my. In
I
my
hope that's
neighborhood.
not a euphemism.
Yeah,
No,
it's
But-
definitely not.
no. But
Okay.
when we were kids, we basically lived in the woods. I may have mentioned this on a previous podcast that we have the forest all around our house.
Yeah.
And when we went outside, we were out all
Well,
day.
that was what
and-
it was like on Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah,
You
it was
guys-
like
Correct.
it was kind of
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You had to go out
And-
and get pails of water.
And
Yeah.
we would go out, and there was this one place called the Reservoir. We used to call the Wreck, and there were water snake, water moccasins. There were garter snakes.
There were
all
there
different
were
kinds
water
of
moccasins.
Yeah,
there
there were
though?
water moccasins.
That's legit,
yes.
man. That's legitimately.
And we used to catch them. We
You
actually
did?
used
You
to
really did
catch
catch
the
them?
water moccasins. One time we were out there and we actually made a stick with a rope on the end,
Really?
and we were
You
swimming
made a
across.
stick? How'd
yeah,
you make
like
that
like
stick?
a like a made a stick. We took a stick and we added like a thing with a noose at the end of it, and the water moccasins were
I
coming
see.
Well, you have
across.
to understand, Rob. This was back when God was still creating the earth, so
I
it was
gotcha.
very easy
Yeah, it
to
was
say,
one of the
"Hey,
first
I'm just going to
snakes.
create one
Get
of
a
these."
legit
chicks.
Miney's resources.
Yeah, exactly.
We had to gather them so we could put them onto the ark.
Yeah, right,
Mhm.
exactly.
But
Okay.
yeah. So
Wait, so you caught the
we
water
actually caught-
moccasins with this?
we
or
we,
no?
we caught the water moccasins and then cut their heads off.
Seriously?
Ew.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I mean,
Then what'd
I
you
don't
do?
even know
Did
what
you
to say
have
to
like?
that. I
Did
don't
you
know
all
how to really-
gather around a fire and like have some
We
kind
would-
of chant?
we would we,
What
we,
did you
would-
do?
we actually lived kind of dangerously because we would actually
Yeah.
swim in the
serpent
same waters where
gods.
the water moccasins swim around. That's why we would catch them and kill
This
them.
is for Cobra Kai. They
Yeah.
weren't even out yet. He saw the future. He knew that.
I
would
got
be big.
That
bit
was
by a
coming.
snake one time.
you did get bit?
I got bit,
How
but
do I not know this? My
You
dad, my
He has
dad
his
will
whole
just,
secret life, right?
no, I do. I have
he'll
lots
just
of
spit
things.
out
You're
random
gonna learn
things.
things about me. Even my son that probably
Oh,
Yeah.
we would talk about things and things pop out just like what? Like everyone's like, what are you?
you'll be like,
talking
no.
about?
One day, Dad will be like, "Oh, Dad, will be like, why do you like Led Zeppelin so much?" And I'll be like, and I'll be asking a question. Like dad, like sons ask their dads questions because
Yeah.
they're interested. And like my dad, of course, rightfully so. Your parents get you into certain things because you grow up listening to it. So I obviously love Led Zeppelin.
One
And
of
I'll
my
ask my
favorite
dad
bands.
one day, why do you love Led Zeppelin? And I'm expecting like, oh, because I grew up. My dad will be like, oh, well, I mean, after I roadied for them for like 10 years on the road
Yeah.
in Europe and all
What?
that.
What
I
are
was
you
like,
talking about?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't want to go down this beaten path tonight, but at another time or another juncture, you got to tell us that story. I don't remember it all, but it was pretty hilarious when you were working as like a dishwasher or something at the Bear Mountain.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute,
yeah.
Rob.
I love that
yeah.
story.
What story are you talking about? The one where he walked
with the-
He's
into
just
with
like standing
with
there,
the-
and the
with the-
guy got all crazy on
No,
him.
it was
The
with
Italian?
the Italians. It was the
Oh
mafia.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Dude,
Mafia
no, you gotta
Alright,
stop.
stop
Seriously,
saying that
you-
word,
no,
man.
That's
No,
crazy.
but it was.
No,
Stop
like
saying-
was.
Say
That
very
is
ethnic
so
Italians
weird.
or something.
No, you have no
I
idea.
love that story.
It
Dude,
was mafia.
that is the
Okay.
weirdest thing
It was.
ever. You have to understand. Me and Rob are like connecting telepathically. The fact that Rob just said
It's
that right
hilarious,
now,
dude.
literally, like 4 hours ago today, before Rob got here, I was thinking to myself, that is one of my dad's best stories. I was thinking of
Yeah.
that exact story.
I was
This
just
is
telling
not-
that story the other day.
This
That
it's
is one of my favorite
complete-
stories
That
to
is
tell
one. It's
because
one of your best stories. You have a lot of great
Yeah.
stories.
I
You
do.
What I
you
really
do
liked
have
about the
phenomenal.
story too is the way he's like, because Joe's such a laid back guy. He's
Such,
like,
such a yes.
there's no
Yeah.
like, he
Yeah.
doesn't give any like indication, any like what's the word I'm looking for? Like
emotion or fear or
no, like when you know something's coming because the person builds it up with their
like
anxiety.
Oh
no,
my God.
you give me anxiety sometimes for other reasons.
Like,
yes,
but
especially when I pull my
I
pants
almost
down
want to
for
say
a
like
shot.
perception, but it's like a
no, like when you
really
see in a
isn't the
movie and
word,
we
yeah.
what's the oh my God, we're gonna talk 20 hours
foresight,
about this.
like foresight, but it's
when
like,
they hint that something's gonna happen later in
it's-
the movie. You know what I'm talking
foreshadowing.
See, it is
right.
spreading.
Okay, he doesn't foreshadow because he shows no emotion. So it's just he could be telling you, "I had an emos cake," or "I ran into the mafia," and he would be with the same
The
tone
same
and the
tone,
same like
inflection.
very. You're right.
It's like
No,
there's
Yeah.
no.
there's very little inflection. It's very not monotone, but he's just like so relaxed
There's no
and easy.
difference.
I have no idea if he's gonna tell me how to stick a bubble gum or I got bit by a snake. You know, I have no idea.
Right.
Like there's no difference.
Yeah, like
in
one
the
day
delivery.
I was driving home from work and I come over Storm King Mountain on the way home and I came down the other side of the mountain and as I'm coming down to the bottom of the mountain, a turkey on the side of the road jumped up like it was trying to fly, and they don't fly, but this one did. It flew into my windshield and
The one
At
flying
that moment,
straight.
he was
Spider
like, you know
glide.
what I'm going to try to do right now? I'm going to try to see if I can fly.
and it spiderwebbed my entire windshield of my car. And I came home and I just walked in the house and I walked over to the phone, picked up the phone, and I started making a phone call. My wife was sitting in the chair in the living room, and I was at the kitchen table. She says, "Hey Joe, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm calling the insurance company. My car a turkey flew into my windshield." And she's like, "What? What are you talking about?"
What are you saying?
So what do you
But-
mean a turkey flew into your window? Now,
And
how
then-
many
yeah.
things?
You know,
how many
he didn't even mention it.
But
so-
honestly, if we have, you know what, I even if we don't, like, we're in the middle of doing a quiz right now. It's
All right,
worth
let me
it
tell this
to tell
story
that
real
story,
quick. So I
because
worked when
that
I was
story is
16
so
years
great.
old at Bear Mountain State Park. They had a big restaurant and ballroom type of dining upstairs. And at nighttime, during dinner time, at night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, or maybe it was later, 10, and they would always bring in a big band, like a Buddy Rich type of big band, like
Like a jazz band,
18-piece,
like
an 18-piece band, and
Yeah.
it was a Buddy
Oh.
Rich band. Like
Yeah,
he
big
was the
band, I
drummer,
gotcha.
and
Yeah,
they would have the guys
Glenn
come
Miller, big
downstairs.
bands,
Yeah,
stuff.
like Glenn Miller. They'd have
Yeah,
those kind
okay.
of things.
right. Beethoven. That was back when Beethoven.
No,
was doing it.
that was a long time ago, and I'll tell you that story on another occasion. But so, it was a big restaurant, and we worked in I was a dishwasher, and it was the length of my house. It was probably a 20-foot long dishwasher.
Right.
One person stood on one end and loaded the dishes up in one end, and the other person at the other end took the dishes off and stacked them. It was a continuous feed dishwasher. And we were doing 1,800 dinners a night, and those
Crazy.
dinners
That's
would
crazy,
be
bro.
coming in.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
insane.
Unbelievable.
Those dinners those plates would be coming in and coming in and coming
Yeah.
in all night long. And if you didn't have two guys there all the time, the dishes would literally
Just
stack to
pile
the
up,
ceiling in
right?
a matter of minutes.
Crazy.
Um,
It's crazy. I
but
believe it.
now at Bear Mountain had different crews. They had crews that were supposed to be for the big bands. When they came in, they would call them in,
Right.
and they would go down and they would empty the vans and help them bring the drums up and the equipment up and set up the band. But they never did. They didn't want to call them in, and so they would come up to the dishwashers, and they would pull one of the dishwashers off the dishwasher. Usually, I think there was 3 guys there, but they would always
What
pull
the
2 guys
hell?
off, and they
Oh,
would go
man.
down. And by the time they came back, the dishes were
I
stacked to
can't
the
even
ceiling.
imagine, and especially on a night like that where you
Oh,
have like a big.
I just
band.
walk
every
out.
time.
That's it.
I'm like, this is not worth 20
Yeah.
cents a day.
Seriously.
No, and it was just they would do it all the time. And then one time I just lost it.
So then, all right.
Now,
so
let me
you're-
explain,
yes,
though. Now,
yes, right.
I worked in New York. It was, of course,
Upstate
Bear
New
Mountain.
York,
It's in
Rockland County.
Bear Mountain State Park. It's a state-owned restaurant and hotel kind of thing with a lake. It's really pretty. But every
Beautiful.
single person who was in management in that place
At that point in time, at least,
was
Yeah,
Italian, like Italian.
and
They had Italian names, they had Italian looks. They all
and-
wore beautiful
and there was
suits,
some
and ties.
Vinny
Yeah.
Bopperino.
Yeah, and
yeah.
there was this one guy. He looked
Yeah.
like
Joey Tube Socks.
No, he looked
Yeah,
like
Joey
a,
Tubes.
he looked
Hey,
like-
Joey Bag of Donuts.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
so he-
back a douche. All
this,
right, sorry.
this one guy, he was my immediate boss was a young guy, but Italian, dark hair, nice looking guy. Always, everybody was in a suit. Everyone was they're all in gorgeous suits.
But like $1,000.
Yeah, like
suits,
really, really nice
this is,
suits.
And this is back in like 1980, probably, right? In 1975.
It was probably in the late
1875.
70s. I was
Late
16, so it
70s.
was probably around 70.
78, maybe right around there. 79.
77,
Don't start spitting
78.
out. You saw how long it took him to nail down the dinner hour. Let's
Yeah,
not get
exactly.
into years.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's one guy who comes up, and he's the one who, like, he's my boss's boss, I guess. And he literally looks like Tony Soprano. I mean, if you look,
Yes.
he looks like
I
Tony
believe it.
Soprano. He's got the
yeah.
same build. He's a big,
Yep,
you
James
know,
Gandolfini looking guy.
yeah. And
yes.
dark, olive skin, dark hair, balding, little
So
bald.
he
just
looks like
slightly
an
bald.
Italian.
He
We
looked
got
like-
it.
So he comes out of the elevator and he goes, I need 2 guys for the thing downstairs. And I lost it. I started yelling at this guy.
Because this is hours in, right? This is like hours of like.
Yeah,
you,
and I
like-
knew it was going to happen. They did this to me constantly every night. And I'm like, enough is I'm tired of this. And I started going off on this guy. I'm like, what the hell's the matter with you? Can't you? You're taking my guys away. You have people you can hire and bring in here and do this. Why don't you effing call them and tell them to get their asses in here. And I'm yelling at this guy, right? And after about 2 or 3 minutes of ranting at
Joey
this
was
guy,
almost never born.
the guy, I stopped and I looked at him. Now I always suspected,
Yeah.
Right.
I looked at this guy and he didn't say a word to me. Not one word. All he did was just like look at me.
It's fucking
He
terrifying.
just looked
That is
at me.
terrifying.
And I went, never mind.
Never-
Walked away. And that day, I knew for sure. I said, I almost died.
Yo,
I would have been wearing cement shoes in
He'd
the
be
Hudson
somewhere in
River
the Hudson
if
River,
I kept
absolutely.
it going.
you'd be buried under Giant Stadium right now.
I
with
would have
Jimmy
been
Hoffa.
with Jimmy Hoffa, and whatever they put the cement
Say
after
hi
they
to
dug
Jimmy
the stadium
for
up.
us.
But yeah, I was like, that was a
The
mistake.
way, like,
In my mind, I said, that was really stupid. And I was like, no, I was like, never mind.
so yeah, so
I walked away, went back to
for
the dishes.
people who don't
Never said a word to him
never
again.
said a word ever again. So for people who don't know my dad, like me and Rob do, we said it actually a little bit last episode. We alluded to the fact that my dad doesn't really worry about things. He doesn't get paranoid about things ever. He doesn't
Not
really.
really. I
no,
don't
he doesn't
know.
get
I don't think
concerned.
he has survival instinct. He just
But
doesn't care.
but the one thing I will say is, and my mom and I say this,
It's
my
not that I
brother
don't
and
care.
I
just think
no.
practically. I don't get I don't get panicky.
No,
you
for
know what
sure,
I'm
and
saying?
I don't want to undersell it enough.
Yeah.
What in my family we have a sort of an unspoken rule, whereas we all worry about things.
Yeah,
but when
very
my
much.
dad starts,
my God.
but when my dad starts worrying about things,
Then you know it's something to worry
you
about.
need
Yeah,
to
take
start
something
fucking
serious.
worrying about things.
Right. If
That's
I'm
a
worried, then
major
there's something
issue.
to worry.
Joe
There's
comes
really
in, starts-
something to worry.
Pack your shit. We're going.
We're like,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, it would if my dad ever
It's
walked into my room
Armageddon.
and said, "All right, pack
Probably
yourself, we're out."
Armageddon coming.
I'd be packed.
He
Yeah, no,
saw-
I'm packed. I'm
He
ready
saw
to go.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ on a
I wouldn't
white
even-
horse.
Yeah.
If my dad walked in and said, "Pack yourself," I'm like, "What stuff? Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go right. I'm not packing anything. Let's go."
Well, that is the other funny part. He would be practical like that, but at the same time, it's Jesus Christ and a fucking horse in Armageddon. This guy would just be like, "Pack, where are you going?
Where you going?
Where are you going?
That point, where you
I
gonna
have an
go?
idea. We're gonna go in Ellenville. They'll never look for us there."
Yeah, right.
Anyway, all right.
But
maybe we should get back to
Anyway,
this
but
quiz
so
then.
but the
Yeah,
point
all
is that that's a great
There's a
story.
lot of other
I love that
stories.
story. There's so
That's
many.
it. That is a great
That's
story.
one of them, but I
Maybe
have a few
maybe
other
we'll do a
ones.
thing where every episode
I'll
we'll do a
think of a good
segment,
story of
a
things that
dad,
happened.
a Joe segment,
enough.
Because I
Joe's story.
still stun my kids
Yes.
with things. Like the other day, at my son Matthew, who's an engineer, is going to be he's working right now as an intern as an engineer, and he
Electrical
works
engineer.
on stuff. And he was describing something to me, and I said, "Yeah, I used to build those." And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, I used to work in
What are they
a-
called? They're called
in a
iPhones,
fab.
right? iPhones.
No, I actually worked with Rob in IBM, and we worked
Yes,
in the
right.
fab,
Kinda
and we
wafers,
built wafers
Chips.
for chips,
Yeah.
basically. My son
Breadboards.
designs those
Sure.
now. He works
Breadboards,
for a
yeah.
company that designs them.
Probably does
Breadboards.
layouts.
And when I started
PCBs.
telling him about it, he's like, "Wait a second, what are you talking about? I didn't know you did this."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I did
Yeah,
this."
no shit.
And I said, he knew. He was like describing things. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I
Yeah,
know."
see, he's
what
younger
you're
than me.
talking about."
See, I'm an old man when it comes to my being surprised by my. Here's the thing. I can't say I'm. It's so funny because I can't say I'm not surprised by my dad's stories. I'm still surprised by it, but I'm not surprised that he has stories that I'm surprised by. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's like a. But anyway, all right. So that's a great. Maybe every episode now we'll do a segment where stories, more stories from Joe's
probably can
Joe's
last
life
a
or
number of
something.
episodes with
Who
at
knows?
least one story.
Yeah, at the very least. All right. Well, anyway, we are going to move on to the second round of of whatever our little trivia thing here.
So do I go first this time?
So this is going to be I guess we'll go. I mean, well, no, you just want to know. Rob will go first again.
All right.
So here's what we're going to do. I have it set up for this. So if you somehow come back right now, Dad, and you win this, so it's going to be a combined
So it's
total of your
48 to 42. Right?
So we're not going to do a combined total. We're going to do is who won round one, who won round two. So if you win round two
That's
right
like
now, we'll
Family
go to
Feud.
a final round like Family Feud. Yeah. If you win this round, we'll go to a final round trivia.
All right.
Final round's going to be 1 minute each. You got to get as many as you can. But here's the crazy part. I'm sorry, not 1 minute. It's going to be 2 minutes each. The final round is a back and forth trivia. You're both going at the same time. Back and forth. Boom, boom, boom. Right
All
back.
right, well, this
You do
that's
one,
gonna
Rob
be
does one. You
interesting.
do one, Rob does one.
All right.
All right?
Who's
That's
going
how
to
we're
keep
gonna
track
do
of the
it.
score then?
It's no one. We're going to go ahead and we're going to wing it because I
Calculate in
you
their
people out
Again,
there keep track of the score,
it's-
and then you can post it
Yeah,
on
exactly.
Facebook or Twitter and let
wrong
us
we
know
were.
who won.
because we're not going to remember.
We're not going to remember. Keep track of it.
All right. But in the meantime, Rob, we are going to go right back to you. So this is now going to be round 2 of the trivia. Okay? So in round 2, the trivia, we are going to have even more topics than what we had normally. Dad, you got to get your calculator out.
Oh, calculator.
So in round
He's
2,
pointing. I didn't know what the heck you were pointing on. I'm like, what, am I missing something? And my eyesight is like,
Right
where
here.
am I going? Just going to point.
All
So-
Like
all
once
right.
when on Buffalo, one of my Buffalo Wild Wings with my son, we're watching a football game.
Oh
There's
my
like
gosh,
100 TVs around you, and I'm looking at the game on this side. He says, "Hey, Dad, dude, check out that play." And I turn my
it turns
neck-
around, me only has
I crank my neck around, but I could have seen it in the TV right in front of me.
it's a whirlwind.
Yeah,
Buffalo Wild Wings is a miserable place to watch fantasy because it's all over the place.
it's all over, and there's like everything you want to watch is right in front of you.
You can
But
watch
then if you're
every
watching
game.
if you're watching it with somebody else and they see a great play that you can see right in front of you, you turn around from the TVs you're looking
I'll
at.
be honest. You know what I kind of miss though, guys?
Yeah.
I miss when we used to go to that little Hoagie Bar Michaels.
Oh,
Shout
yeah,
out
like,
Hoagies.
Yeah, no, it's
Shout
good.
out to Hoagie Bar,
Because
those
it's
little dive bar.
Yeah, I like that scene.
Which-
though. It's
Yeah.
relaxed. People are actually there to watch the games
Actually,
and not
that'll-
do all whatever the hell else they're doing.
Crazy
Yeah.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, man. We had a lot of fun.
We
doing
would
it.
have a lot of like a pretty good
We
amount of
played pool there.
beverages
Yeah.
and all kinds of
The-
crappy foods, and
yeah.
it wasn't that expensive.
No, it
No,
wasn't expensive.
No, it was good. Their wings were awesome,
The
and
wings
we're
are very
also
good.
Oh, they
we're
were
also
good.
trying.
We'll do it again this year.
We
yeah.
should do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're also
Alright.
trying this episode to not kill possible
Sponsors.
sponsors. We're actually
Yes.
trying to build sponsors.
And by we
in the
mean
future.
you.
yeah, I've killed 3 or 4 at least.
You've
like-
killed basically 3, 4, 10, maybe
yeah,
something
maybe.
like that.
All right.
No.
So let's get back to the trivia.
All right, so in round 2,
Oh.
the possible topics are some of the same from last round, but a little bit more. So we have movies, trivia, music. We have sports now, literature, geography. We now have history and entertainment.
Okay, hold on a
So-
second. Let me clarify.
Yes.
What? How's the topic trivia? Isn't it all trivia? What do you
So,
mean trivia?
well, the topic that I'm saying, like the possible topics for each question, the
Right.
genre, we'll call it. If you want to, if the word genre is a little bit better, you want to use that.
But
well-
trivia genre? What's the trivia genre?
Well, the trivia is the actual questions. The questions
Right.
themselves fall into these topics. At
Okay.
least for round 2, the different trivia
Right.
questions fall into movies,
Right.
TV, music, sports, literature, geography, history, or
Oh,
entertainment.
okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said
Yeah.
trivia was the subject.
No.
I don't know.
So anyway,
All
that's
right.
what we're gonna do. Dad,
Let's go.
Dad, do you have your calculator ready?
I don't. Hold on just a second. I'm
All right.
trying to do something.
Well,
here.
whenever you are ready, you're going to have to let me know because I do not want to lose any of Rob's points because he's trying to maintain it. Rob's got to.
Trying to
Rob
keep it going.
missed out on the movie trivia.
All right,
one,
so it's
all
1
right?
point if you. Okay, I'm just
So
gonna.
2 points if
I'm
Rob
actually
gets
gonna
it
just
right.
put the points down, and then we'll.
Oh,
add
I
them
had
up
the
at
points
end.
written down right now. If you want to, I mean, that's why I was saying if you wanted to do the calculator, if it's
No, the
easier.
calculator is kind of
a
tough.
little
'cause
bit
if I
harder
miss
to
something.
do. All right,
What I'm
fair
going to do
enough.
is I'm going to put it in my notes. Every time he gets a 2, I'll put a
That's
2,
smart.
and every time he puts
Hey,
a 1, I'll
listen,
get a
whatever
1, and
works.
we'll add it up.
Well,
At
thank
the-
God
Right.
you're in business, finance, or whatever. we
Yeah,
do.
I'll
Yeah,
let
right.
Joey do the
Work
adding because
this out.
he's
Yeah.
an accountant.
That's what I do.
I can't count
That's what I
past
do.
10. That's why I could just do the 1 and the 2.
You
It's
need to get one of
perfect.
those old bookie calculators.
Yeah,
The giant
exactly.
was, "Brr, what you got, guy? Bang, 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 bang,
Yeah,
bang.
see?
Brr, ding, ding. 54555. And they got the giant receipt thing
The
printing
receipt
out.
thing? Yeah,
Yeah.
give me
Yeah,
400 on the Bulls this weekend.
You should have seen it
I
back.
bombed on the ponies.
You should have seen it back in the day when we had to do it on tablets with
Yeah.
freaking
Stone
chisels
tablets.
and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really hard. Then.
Yeah.
Actually, Joe did have the first abacus.
You did have the first abacus.
It was called
Yeah.
iabacus.
I abacus.
Okay.
Iabacus.
All right. I'm ready, guys.
All right.
I couldn't wait to get the Iabacus X. It was awesome.
You were like you were in line all
Plus.
by yourself. It was you and
yeah.
all
This
the other
one has
Neanderthals.
5 colors.
All right, so Rob, Dad, are you ready? You got you ready over there?
I'm ready.
All right, so on the count of 3, here we go. All right, blank to the future.
Back.
2.5 blank.
Man.
Smells like blank. Oh my
Teen
god.
Spirit.
That's I gave you the wrong one. My bad. All right, we're gonna skip. Lost blank Lakers.
Skip.
Okay. Brave new blank.
I'm an idiot. New World.
Central blank Republic.
China.
Three Men and a Blank.
Baby.
Walker blank Ranger.
Texas.
Slippery When Blank.
Wet.
Chicago Blank Sox.
Red. Oh shit.
Blank
Chicago.
Blank and Sensibility.
Sense.
The Gettysburg
With
Blank.
dress.
The Blank of Oz.
Wizard.
The Brady Blank.
Bunch.
We Didn't Blank the
Start
Fire.
the fire.
Toronto Blank Jays.
Blue.
Where the Blank Things Are.
Wild.
Little Blank of Horrors.
Shop.
The Blank of the Lambs.
Silence.
That Blank. That 70s Blank.
The 70s show.
Sorry, yeah. Yep. Blank Eyed Peas.
Black.
Blank England Patriots.
New.
The Da Vinci Blank.
Code.
Sri Blank.
Sri?
Sri Blank.
Sri Lanka.
Ferris Bueller's Day Blank.
Off.
Third Blank from the Sun.
Rock.
Jagged Blank Pill.
Little.
Oh, nice. New Blank Knicks.
York.
To Blank a Mockingbird.
Kill.
The Blank Depression.
The Great Depression.
White Men Can't Blank.
Jump.
Right under the wire. There you go.
That time
Killed
seemed
it.
like, I don't know if it's me,
Killed
but
it.
usually time's supposed to go faster when you're older. But that seemed like, what's supposed to be 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
That seemed like
I
it was
got
like,
a hard part there when we
You
got
did,
jacked
right?
up.
I feel like we
probably
should close
lost
the
time
show
right
after
there.
that.
A
That's
little
how much
bit. Yeah,
time
a little bit
feels
jacked
have
up on
gone
that one. That
All
was
right,
my
so
bad.
And then I
one,
said
two.
You still made it
Chicago
up.
Red Sox. I should
Chicago
be
White
punched in
Sox.
the face.
You might have to be, I don't know. At least you lose your sports fan card.
Yeah,
Your
probably.
sports fan card has
Okay,
been
I
revoked.
got it.
At least temporarily.
All right.
You'll get it back, though, I'm sure. All right, Dad, what do we got for
Alright.
points there? What do you got? We'll add those up real quick. Throw them into a, Dad's got like an Excel
miming
spreadsheet
him.
over there. He's trying to like figure it all out.
This
his
is me
abacus.
sliding his abacus.
There we go. What I can
I
tell
was
you
actually
is,
rated number 1 in the Hudson Valley for miming abacus.
for miming the abacus. So what we have here, Rob, we have it was Smells Like Teen Spirit. That was my
Right.
bad. I screwed up on that.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Lakers
Right.
was
Nirvana,
the one.
91.
We
huge
had,
released by Geffen Records.
Yeah. So it was Central African Republic. That was a
I
weird
think
one.
it's 28 times 2.
28 times 2 would be 56.
56.
Yeah, that's
56.
good. So I had
All
40,
right.
what? 48 and 56.
48 in the first
Oh,
round.
it didn't matter because we're doing rounds.
We're doing
so,
rounds,
Okay, so
right,
you have
yep.
to be 48. That's all we
Either way. So
Or
you got to be
56.
56. All right, Dad.
All right.
So,
I'm going to do this in real time. I'm gonna try
in
to
real
keep up
time,
with
he's going to
this.
try to keep up. All right.
All right.
So, what we are going to do here is we are going to
You ready, buddy?
see if we got this
27.
right
I'm sorry.
here.
27 times 2.
All right. So, where did we leave off over here? Okay.
Just double check. You want to double check me on that just to make sure? So many 2s you got?
Whatever, dude. I
All
don't
right.
care.
Anyway, all right. Let's go.
So you have to be 54 then.
54.
Okay.
Okay. So, Dad, we are going to go into your turn. Give me 1 second here and get this all set up. Make sure I have it. Okay. Are you ready? Rob, are you ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Okay.
I'm
ready,
ready.
Dad? Here we go. It's always blank in Philadelphia.
Pass.
The beach blank.
Boys.
The Toronto blank Leafs.
Maple.
A blank to arms.
Call.
7 blank for 7 brothers.
Brides.
Saving Private blank.
Ryan.
As the blank turns.
World.
Hit me, baby, one more blank.
Time.
Detroit blank wings.
Red.
The lion, the blank, and the wardrobe.
Which?
Burkina blank.
Pass.
A blank called Wanda.
Fish.
Blank in the family.
All.
House of the blank sun.
Rising.
The Portland blank Blazers.
Trail.
The blank and the pauper.
Prince.
The Great Pyramid of blank.
Giza.
That's good.
Gaza.
Quantum of blank.
Pass.
Blank she wrote. Blank she wrote.
Pass.
Los Angeles blank of Anaheim.
Rams.
Or the Anaheim
Rams.
Boys to
Men.
blank of a salesman.
Death.
Blank on the roof.
Fiddler.
The facts of blank.
Life.
All the blank watchtower.
Along.
All right.
Those other ones I should have known. I just couldn't get
They're
it. I
tough
didn't-
ones,
I
man.
didn't-
I
No,
thought
they
they were
were
a little bit harder.
They're really not tough. I
Ducks
knew
was
them.
kinda-
They were right
you
on
lost
the
your sports
tip.
card too,
So
buddy.
it actually, believe it or not, it wasn't. It was the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Oh.
I guess they
you're
changed
right. I'm an
it.
idiot.
Yeah.
got
I didn't
punched
even
in the
know
face
that.
twice.
No, I did.
And that did happen a while
That's
ago.
a
did.
weird.
I
It
just
did
took a
happen.
guess.
Okay, I didn't even know they were Los Angeles.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that happened.
I did know that.
So they have two cities. How does that work? Were the Los Angeles Angels
No,
of Anaheim when we're
Anaheim
not in
is
New
the
York
s-
or
no,
in
Anaheim,
Buffalo?
Anaheim is a suburb of Los Angeles, I think, and that's why that's.
Well, let's not even. I'm not even
No,
going
it
to
is.
that.
Anaheim is where if I'm not mistaken.
I
You can correct me. Leave
You're
me a
mistaken.
message
I don't know.
on LR.
Anaheim might be where
Podcast.
Disneyland is. That's
But
what you're
no,
going to say.
Disneyland is in Anaheim. and
believe- I
Anaheim
think that's
is
right.
part of Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken.
don't
I think
know.
you are right. That
Yeah?
sounds
Yeah.
right.
All right, okay. So
So-
I was going to say Luxembourg, but that's whatever. All right, so Rob, what was the final score for my dad over there? I don't think it was phenomenally well. 38. All right, Dad. Not your best.
38 is all I got.
38 is on that.
You
so
spent a long time waiting on one.
Rob, you know
All
what?
right.
Rob did a very good job there.
Yes,
I
he
think
did.
that I don't know. It's definitely listen, man, it happens. What are you gonna do? But overall, Rob, congratulations, man.
You won.
You
are
won
the man.
the
Yeah.
first ever,
Yay.
the first ever
thank you, buddy.
edition of. I mean, that's just crazy, man.
Tell him what he's won, Joe.
You have won the ability to talk for the rest of the episode by yourself uninterrupted. Good
Yes.
luck. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah, you finally
luck.
won something though. Tonight you were
Yeah, that's
complaining
true.
that you didn't. Yeah,
I don't win
you
often.
finally won something.
You don't win very often.
No.
Aren't you glad I let you win?
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you no
it.
problem. I wanted to make you feel better because you didn't get anything at the picnic.
That's kind of you.
The
Yeah.
That's why you're my best friend, buddy.
employees,
man.
the employees minus Rob Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys want to hear what
That's
some
actually
of the
what they
questions?
originally called it, but it was too
They-
long to fit on the banner.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you guys want to hear what some of the questions were for the final round that would have been a final round had Dad
Let's
not
do it
gotten so
anyway.
demolished by Dad? So we have the Empire blanks back.
Strikes.
All right. So we got modern blank,
Family.
blank like blank a virgin,
Like.
the blank Gadsby.
Great.
Great.
A penny saved is a penny blank.
Earned.
Blank Miserable.
Les Miserables.
Blank Will Hunting.
Good.
Blank of Fortune.
Wheel.
Bittersweet blank.
Symphony.
Oh, well, look at that. See, I didn't know. You know
no.
what's funny? I got that right when I initially took that. I had no idea what the hell it was.
Okay.
This is a weird one. So, Cannery blank. Apparently, it's called Cannery
Cannery-
Row is the name. I don't know what that is.
Cannery Row.
Do you know
Cannery
what that
Row
is?
is how you
Cannery
say
Row,
Cannery Row.
yes.
It's apparently it's literature is the category.
Mm.
Yeah,
know
it's
what
an
that is.
old story, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that one of the
goes
first stories
back-
ever
One
written?
that you
was
used to go to
probably-
bed to?
I think
Yeah.
it was. I think it was the Ten Commandments,
Right.
and then it was the Old Testament.
The Old Testament,
Right.
and then
And
it
then I
was.
think
And
they
first to
wrote
shake
that.
it up on the weekend, they would do that.
They would do that. book.
Throw a log in the fire. Your dad's worked hard this week.
Yeah.
And then
Everybody get tucked in. You and your 4 kids in one bed.
Yeah.
and it
Good
was-
night, John boy. All right. So the other one we have blank Bandicoot.
Crash.
Oh, I bet your dad didn't know that one.
No.
Blade blank.
Runner.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
Joe.
The blank wing.
Dark. No,
The-
the Nightwing.
Nope. The West
Red?
Wing.
The West.
Oh.
West Wing. Rolling in the blank.
Joe.
Rolling in the
money.
deep.
Yeah, rolling in the deep.
Oh,
it's
nice,
Adele,
Joe, you got that one.
baby. Rolling in the deep. Oh yeah. Vanity blank.
Fair.
The Star Spangled.
Banner.
Nope. It was actually the Star Spangled Starfish.
Okay.
Starfish.
That'll get you every
Yeah,
time.
there you go. Scott Pilgrim versus the blank.
The world.
I love that movie. Have you, Dad? You gotta
No,
watch that
I never-
movie,
I
man.
I saw
I
it in the
love
theater
that
with
movie.
my wife. Yeah, it was fun.
I love that movie. Kanye blank.
West.
Wild. Oh my God. All right, forget that. Screw that. I can't not say the blank. I cannot do it. Bob Marley and the blank.
Bob Marley.
Come on,
and,
Dad. Bob Marley and the blank.
Yeah, you should know this.
And
The coal
Starts
miners.
with a W.
Whalers.
Whalers.
the
Boom.
Whalers.
Got it.
Yeah.
Blank Galactica.
It's the Whalers.
Starship.
Battlestar Galactica.
Galactica.
Anyway, yeah, that was the basic gist of our first ever segment of loosely related
That was fun.
trivia.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty
All right.
amazing. That was good. So we'll have to try to. Well, you know what we're gonna have to do one of these times. We'll have to
Yeah.
get our listeners, our
Yeah.
watchers involved in this show.
Yeah.
We'll do a.
Oh, we're gonna do a live episode eventually.
No,
I think
we will,
eventually
but I
we're gonna do a
mean,
live
that's
episode.
the-
Maybe we'll do a
plan.
live. We'll have
Yeah.
to do a live episode, and we'll get. Well, actually, no. What we'll do is we'll have them. We don't have to do a live for this. We'll do. Who wants to be a millionaire?
Okay.
Or who wants to be? You know,
Me.
$10 air.
$10 air. Okay.
We'll put $10 on the table,
There you
and we'll get
go.
a T-shirt, and we'll have a
wants to-
shout out to. We'll each pick one of our guests out there who are going to watch the show or be involved in the show, and we'll
Yeah.
have them as a shout out as one of
Shout
our
out.
things because you get a 50-50 a shout out. I don't know. We'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it
But I
out.
think it would be kind of
happening.
interesting
I
to
don't
do
know.
something like
Is
that.
that
Just
one
something
thing,
for
or
the
is that like
future.
3 items?
I don't know.
I
It's a
got
weird
confused. No,
thing.
He was
There's
like,
a
we'll
shirt
get a
thing I'm
dunk
interested
booth
in.
and a T-shirt and a.
We could do a dunk booth.
We'll shoot
wet
them with
water
a T-shirt.
contest?
We'll shoot them in the face
what
with a
shirt
T-shirt cannon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we,
Where
I
it
don't
says
know what
loosely
was
related.
happening.
we could put them in the audience.
Yeah.
We'll just
Yeah.
have 3 people sitting there.
By the way, guys, we say all this in jest, but please do look forward to that merch. You know it's coming.
It's coming.
That'll be on
Oh,
our
it's coming.
website sooner than
It's
you
gonna
know.
be
That live episode's coming. It's all
yeah.
coming.
It's
all
it's
coming
all
down the pipe,
starting
man.
to. It's gonna all be there, and you want to be the first ones on board, man, so you can
Right.
brag about, hey, I was there from the beginning.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And
You
it's-
know, like where those places, like somebody will tell you, oh, it's some hot bar, but you can't even find it because there's no goddamn sign in it. When you
Yeah.
find it, it's like a rite of passage. That's this right now.
Yeah,
Get
see
it
that-
on the
that's
ground
this.
floor.
That's
Yes.
it. It's ground floor right now.
It's ground
Exactly.
floor, and
Speaking,
the people who are here.
Literally,
will-
we're on the ground floor.
yeah, we are actually.
We're on cement.
we are literally on the ground floor. Speaking
Yeah.
of the ground floor, though, can we talk about getting in on the ground floor on Daniel Jones? Bro, did you
Yeah,
see
oh,
his
yeah.
first? I
They
like.
were talking. They were
I
trying to
get
hype
it.
him.
I
Oh my
get
God,
it.
I can't.
Everybody's hyping him up. I get it.
I
But
can't.
it was like I watched all 5 of his throws because it was 5. It was 5 throws. It was 5 throws that he made.
He was.
But they looked good, man. Those 5 throws looked good. I mean,
saw him in an interview the other day, and they were calling him very Eli-esque.
yeah,
I don't
Well-
know if they were just talking about his personality because he was very dry.
very dry and
and, like,
very. You know,
he
has
didn't
a
say
weird,
anything that could be polarizing whatsoever.
right, of course.
He did all the right things. How he's
Right.
learning from Eli.
Yep.
All these things he learned in 1 week of practice.
Well, I didn't.
What else are they gonna
I
say
didn't
there?
really
Right,
watch
exactly.
the game because I went to put it on. It was supposed to come on at 7, and it was raining. It was a big shower up
storm
here.
delayed.
Yeah, and
Storm delayed.
and then it delayed. It was supposed to come on
Mm.
at 7. 8 o'clock it wasn't on. I think I threw something on. I think I started watching highlights from. I'm watching a show now for the second time. I think Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers, man.
Oh, that's
HBO
if you, if
series.
you have not
Classic.
seen
Love
that,
It's freaking
watch it. One of the best
amazing.
shows.
If you like war stories,
Yeah.
it's the best story. And it's
Yeah.
about the 101st Airborne Infantry, particularly the Easy Company.
Easy Company.
And it's a really cool story, true story. And then I was watching the actual guys. They have, before it showed. But anyway, so I just switched from the Giants game. But I'll get back to that in a second. But
Yeah.
in the Giants game, I
Yeah,
don't really
right.
watch preseason games.
No, we don't. We talked about it a little last episode. We don't really
There's
watch
nothing
preseason.
going
There's
on. I'll
nothing
pop it
really
on.
happening.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But
like,
mostly I'll just watch the highlights.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
watched
If
the
you wanna-
highlight. Watch the highlights of
Right.
of
Daniel
Daniel
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Like Giants.com. They do Facebook.
Yes.
And from the 2 or 3 highlights that I saw, of course they're going to show you his best pass. where
Yeah.
he's
Well, he
wailing it
literally threw
downstairs.
5 passes, but they
Yeah,
were all
he was-
completed.
Yeah, he had 5 passes for
67
yards and a
Yep.
TD.
Yep.
Or it's some mid-range passing at least.
Yeah, and they had-
Touchdown pass
Yeah,
was a
that's
nice
fine.
pass too. I have to say he threw it right where the receiver needed it.
What?
But if you're going to go by the stats in the preseason, it should be Alex Tanney who's our starting quarterback because he
Yeah.
went 14 for 19 for 190 yards and 1 TD.
Okay.
That's
Any-
pretty good
Any
stats.
interceptions?
What is going on with
No interceptions.
Mm.
Nobody had any interceptions.
What's going on with the
Eli went. He
I
did his
haven't followed
typical.
it
He
that
was
much.
1 for 1 for 3 yards.
Yeah,
Eli played.
100%
He
completion
actually
rate.
did play, really.
He had a
100%
100%
completion
completion rate. That's
I
what he.
did not know that he
Outstanding.
played.
That's what, yeah.
He's 5 for 5 with a total net gain of -4 yards
Yeah.
Yeah.
with all his dump passes.
Yeah,
and all
because
his crap.
he's
Yeah.
easy to.
Did you guys see the little thing? I got I hate saying because I do love Eli Man. We always
Yeah.
have this argument.
Right.
They're extremely, and I'm sure a lot of other team fans say this about their team. They're extremely infuriating.
Yes.
It's like they get every break possible. They get you right where you're like, oh my God, this is it. The Giants are back in, and just to take a big crap on your dreams.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Don't
Yeah.
they always
Yeah.
do that?
Yes, of course.
They'll beat all these
Well,
teams
now-
they need to beat to get there, and then drop a deuce on some crap team.
So that's a good thing about this season because I don't expect anything from the Giants.
That's true. There's no expectation.
There's no expectations at all for me, at least.
What I was going to
so
say is
they can only do better than what my expectations are.
I don't
they
know
were
if I would
talking
go
about
that
Eli.
far,
They were hyping his. I wouldn't say hyping. They were chatting it up a little bit about supposedly Eli put some more zip on his throws. You guys see that?
No, I didn't see
He's
that.
hired a strength conditioning coach specifically to work on his legs and like
Strength
his
and
movement.
conditioning. Eli's going to be the
because
new Pat Mahomes now. All of a sudden,
I don't know,
Can you
man.
Imagine
Going yard.
at
Did
38.
they have
whatever he is.
how to throw a spiral with a football coach
No, they were
working
ducks.
with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all
They were ducks. I saw the duck hunt dog actually run out after some of them.
Yeah,
They were just
that's
floaters.
like I saw Molly.
Well,
She kept barking at the window, and she could see his bad passes from here in
Yeah.
Newburgh.
Well, I mean, half the reason why none of the receivers can ever catch anything is because every time he throws it, they're all like, pull! And then you have a guy just shooting the ball out of the fucking
Correct.
sky, and that's
Yeah,
it.
pretty
Like,
much.
And then
okay,
there's
well,
that
that's
stupid
great.
So I
That was
don't
supposed to
know.
be a dog laughing. I don't know what the hell that was.
I don't
Sorry.
know.
Let's move
I
on from
wouldn't.
that.
I wouldn't go that far though. It's not that I have expectations for the Giants this season. I do, and it's
You have
not.
hopes.
I don't. I don't
Hopes.
have. Here's the thing. I do expect. So one of the big highlights that I keep hearing people talk about from the Giants preseason is, and I watched a couple plays of it, and I had like they always break it down, and the O line looked amazing, and I think that's one of the big things. One of the reasons why
I
they
think
were
that's one
talking
of the
about
biggest
Daniel Jones
upgrades.
is that he had so much time to throw. And they were explaining that, it wasn't like the Jets' coverage was lackadaisical. They were saying that they were showing that based on, the statistics and the analytics that their coverage fell pretty much within the range of, like the normal, at the very least, average coverage. And Daniel Jones had just enough time to pass the ball that he had those opportunities. So my argument is that if you can give at least Eli that much time, if you're getting Saquon Barkley some really good protection, there's no reason why we can't have a legitimate chance to make a run at the NFC
that play
East
action
this season.
that play action should open up. I guess that's the idea, right?
Right.
If Barkley's breaking off runs with good protection,
Yeah.
he's not having to do it all himself. Go from 3 yards back and 10 jukes just to make a 3-yard gain.
Exactly. So that's my
and
point.
running
so
him into the ground.
Exactly. So I think there's a legitimate possibility the Giants could at least make a run at the NFC East. And I mean, I'm not saying I would necessarily that I would expect that, but I definitely believe that it's possible.
Well, I guess anything's possible.
I don't know. I don't, like I said, I'll be happy with anything better than 2 wins. I'll be like, wow.
All right, let me
doing a
tell
lot
you
better
now,
than I
right?
thought.
Let's do this right now while we're at it. Like, when is the regular season start? What date?
I want to say I'm going to guess right now off the top of my head September 7th.
I think it is actually. We have our draft.
Are we starting with Dallas or?
It is September, so the first game of the NFL season is. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I got the second right.
My computer is really
does
slow
not
right
seem
now.
correct. Oh no, yeah, it's right.
So
all right, so yeah,
Thursday, August 8th.
it's the Bears against the Packers on September 5th.
Okay.
On a Thursday night.
Okay, so it's a Thursday game.
Yep.
And then Giants that Sunday at 1, or what are we doing? I know usually in the beginning they always have like Monday night games, Sunday night.
4:25. Giants Cowboys.
They probably try to separate.
It's always
them.
Giants
It's a big
Cowboys.
Yeah,
television.
it's always the first.
So
game
they're
is Giants,
are
Cowboys.
they at
Well, it
Dallas
has
or
been in
at
the past. Let's find out right now.
Jersey?
Let's see. They were
that
going
MetLife
to
Stadium?
be at. Why is it? It's really big for me. They New York Giants at Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, so we're at Cowboys. Go
Yes.
through the first 4 or 5 games of the Giants. What do we got?
First 4 games of the Giants. We are going to have. Let's see. Okay, so we got Giants Cowboys, Giants Buffalo Bills, the Giants Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Giants the Washington Redskins.
All right, so the Redskins should show up.
Yeah.
They have a new quarterback. All right, if you were to
They also
put
have
gun
Landon
to
Collins,
the head,
right? Is that not?
right.
And they also
Yeah.
have. Did we also give them Damon Harrison? Or no? That was.
snacks.
Did they get snacks from us?
No.
Snacks. All right,
No,
that's a little
they got
callback to
Dwight
Greg
Haskins.
Giraldo,
Actually, I'd
Yeah.
have
one
to
of the
look
best
into
comedians
it.
out
I'm
there
not
ever.
Really sure.
Rest in peace.
Oh, they have Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. You know
Okay.
that?
Oh yeah, he's
That's crazy.
he's up in age, but
DRC's over there.
he did a lot for us.
After for us.
Gun to your head, Joe. Gun to your
Yeah.
head. Does Eli escape the first 5 games? Is he still playing? Is he still starting?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Is he still going to be the starter after 5 regular season games?
You know what? I don't know. I hope he's not the starter at all. Really, I'd rather just see
that's
Daniel.
not a possibility. There's no
It's
way.
not going to happen because
Eli's
the Giants
starting.
just don't do that sort of thing.
No, they don't, and they already said there's no contest. Eli is starting.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I believe that if he's doing crap, then maybe, probably. if he's not doing good, if he's not winning, if their record's really bad.
Listen, going
He
back
might
to a
even make
gun
it
to
to
head,
5.
there's no maybe.
Gun to head.
There's no head.
All right, gun
There's
to
no
head.
maybe.
no head.
There's no head. There's never any
Gun
head.
to head,
but that's a
Eli's
whole
actually
different
playing
thing.
without
Gun
a
to
head
head,
this
yes,
year.
he will be playing more than 5.
Okay, you?
Wow. Okay. No, I would say absolutely. I would say that gun to my head. I would say he might be out after 3 games.
You
I
know
could see
what
after
wouldn't
3.
surprise me? Now that I dodged my own question.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Eli was out and Daniel Jones was still not the starter. They're going to go to somebody else.
You think so?
No,
Yes.
I don't
Alex
think.
Tanny,
I
maybe?
don't.
They
If
go
it's
to-
early
I
in the season and that's how they are. Oh, I don't know if he's right. They'll
No.
like eke someone else in there. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
Pick
They
I
up,
wouldn't
might
be surprised, man.
might-
Josh McCown comes in. They pick him up off of waivers.
I'm
they
just
might,
saying, I wouldn't be
they
surprised.
might do that. I would
he's not.
see,
The Giants are typically
who
not
played for
someone.
the-
Do you remember
who's the guy
Eli's
that's
first
bouncing
season?
around?
He was
Yeah.
horrid.
Yeah.
He wasn't good for 4 friggin' seasons.
he
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
You talk about slow burner.
Yeah.
Oh
Right.
my God, he was a slow burn.
It was rough.
Dude, even then, I remember. I'll never forget this. I was at this place, Black Rock, for some. It was like a rod and gun club. I was there for a party for one of my relatives, my wife's relatives, and I'm talking to Joe, your father,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I must have dropped so many. I'm like, this piece of crap. I think it was his 4th season or something. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted him the hell out of New York. I
You
couldn't
did.
take
I
it.
remember that.
4 seasons. I mean, he was crap,
I
and
used
he
to
wasn't
call-
showing any signs of improvement.
Yeah.
I used to call him the runt of the litter.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my
Which is- he
God,
kinda
just
is.
was
He kind of is
nothing
the runt
going
of the
on
litter.
there.
It is kind of that.
But,
But-
all right, so if you think he'll be out by 3 games?
Well, see, my whole thing. All right, so then the way that I see it, if we had the Giants having that schedule, I just coming up against the Redskins, I just don't. I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, I just the problem is I don't know who the Giants are going to replace Daniel Jones with if Daniel Jones is not there. So the only reason why they would keep him after 3 games is if there was literally no one else to put in besides Daniel Jones.
They'll pick
So
someone off the
maybe
waiver.
they'll do
Look what
that.
they did with the wide receivers.
They could do that,
They're
maybe another
plugging
Geno
holes in the
Smith.
wide receiver. They signed 2 nobody. They're
Yeah, but for a quarterback though, I mean, a third
I
string
just
wide
think that's
receiver
how
is a
they
big
do
difference.
things. The
between-
Giants are weird with that crap.
I don't know.
I think this is what I think. If Eli makes 6 games somehow, and we're like some okay, he doesn't hardly ever get hurt, but just say we're 3-3 after 6 games, but he doesn't look good. We've won on defensive prowess or whatever. Let's just say that's the case.
or Saquon Barkley's legs.
Or Saquon. All right,
Yeah.
he runs the whole thing.
Right.
And they know they have to make a decision.
Right.
First of all, they'll never just out him. They'll
No.
always say something.
Of course, absolutely.
He hurt, whatever. Then do they put in Daniel, or is that too much pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, all right. So, let's say he comes out after
Or
3
they sign
games.
a veteran. I bet you they sign a veteran.
It would be weird if
I
he came
could
in.
see them doing
The
something
Giants
like
are
that.
so in week what is that? So like we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So in week 6, the Giants are playing the Patriots. I find it very hard to believe that they're going to want to play Daniel Jones
What, his
against
first
him.
game or something?
But I can see the merit of having a rookie quarterback play against Tom
Oh,
Brady.
me too. Trial
and
by
see
fire.
what that's like.
No, I get that.
Exactly.
But I
could
just
see that
don't see them as
happening.
being trial by fire. They're very
You don't think so?
Liz, we had an air game going, and somehow that was still a negative. Oh, he's just heaving it down the field. Who gives a crap? We're getting
Yeah,
touchdowns.
that's
I don't
still
care if he gives
touchdown. I
up
don't
2
give a
picks
shit.
and 4 touchdowns,
Yeah.
rather than throw a way higher completion rate and
That-
1 touchdown and
Yeah,
5 picks.
Right, that's the Pat Mahomes
What the
style.
hell does
Pat
it matter?
Mahomes threw a lot of interceptions, but he
It's
also
way
threw
more
50
exciting.
touchdowns.
But yeah, that's my feeling. I think if there's any way they're not totally embarrassed, they're not going to put him in. They're going to sign some kind of veteran.
You think so?
See who the hell?
I
knows?
hope
I
not,
just I
man.
think they're weird like that.
Yeah.
And Eli was what they traded for Eli, right?
Technically, yeah.
Right. So they traded him. Well, where did they trade to?
The Chargers.
The chart. Right. They
Right,
traded. They
yeah.
gave up on
Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers. Okay, which was a big
Mistake.
what to do. Right.
I would
well,
say. I mean, I would. I mean,
he
I
has
mean,
the weirdest release. He's
who
like-
knows that
That's a
sidearm
weird
throw?
release.
It's a very weird release.
But in any case, I mean, it's hard to say it's a big mistake now.
yeah, right. And that's the whole
It's-
point,
There's
right?
so many variables. We have 2
Yes.
championships.
Yes,
Who the hell knows
exactly.
how it would have turned out?
Right. Exactly.
But the point is, he was that trade for first? Was he first overall?
Eli was the
He-
first overall pick.
Right,
yeah.
first
by-
overall.
by the Chargers.
Did
Yeah.
he start that season?
No,
He Kurt
no.
Kurt Warner
For
started
all
the
season.
first 4 games of the
5.
season. I thought.
I think it was
first
5.
4 or 5. No,
Oh, no.
Eli did come in after the first
I
3 or
think it
4
was-
games of the
I
season.
think he did come in
did
on the
start.
5th.
Yeah.
Was it even that? I don't know. I
He
could have
came in
sworn
on
it was
the
later
5th.
than that.
No, it
okay.
was the
I
5th.
don't
I thought
know.
we went further into the season. So I'm
Well,
sorry.
actually,
maybe
no,
I'm
wait.
not.
I think double check.
Check it out. I don't think he.
I don't think he played the first year. I think he played
And
the
Warner
second
was
year.
Warner was a shell of himself by then, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly. He
think-
didn't look good.
I think he played the first 5.
Am I wrong on that, Joe? I remember Kurt Warner not looking good at that point.
No, he wasn't good. He was good prior to that.
He was a quality quarterback.
No, I mean literally the year before he came to the Giants.
Okay, so here's where we go. All right, so this is an article in the Associated Press from 2004. So, Eli Manning has replaced Kurt Warner as the New York Giants starting quarterback. Coach Tom Coughlin made the move Monday after Kurt Warner and the offense struggled for the second consecutive week in a 17-14 loss to the Arizona Cardinals. The Giants, at 5-4, have lost 3 of the last 4 games after a 4-1 start. You remember that?
Yeah.
They started off 4-1 and they lost. We lost like 5 straight. So, technically, that would have been, you figure that's so in week 10. So, about half the season.
I thought it was pretty late.
About halfway through the season. Okay, so good shit, Rob.
Yeah.
Good call on
Well,
that,
I was still
man.
right. I did think,
call.
though, I thought Kurt Warner didn't look good that year, but maybe he had some. I don't remember.
He might have had
much.
a couple good first games, but so then in week 10 he started his first game against the Atlanta Falcons, and that was the first time he ever started.
I remember he looked like trash.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so to move along, there's other information. Well, skip. Are you done with the Giants? We're done.
We've got about 5 minutes
now, there's
left.
a story.
Let's start.
Just a quick mention, though. I would love in the
bit.
future. Maybe we'll do our. If this is possible, maybe when we get together for our annual fantasy football, maybe we could do something.
Dude, I would love to do that. Man.
Yeah, we can definitely mention.
Have some of our guests from our fantasy football league on here.
That'd
maybe
be cool.
Something like that.
Kind of go into that in a little bit. I'm not going to talk about fantasy. We only this is the first week of the preseason. Official.
It's going to be here so fast, though. So, and I've been slacking. I haven't been keeping up that much.
I haven't either.
But I got a sleeper bot. I got a tweet off a sleeper bot. Tweet. I got a
Joe sleeps with sleeper bot.
Notice of a sleeper bot. It said something about Antonio Brown. He's complaining that he will not return to football unless he can wear his old football helmet. And I'm like, what is that? That's such an obscure statement. I didn't know what it was. But he's complaining. I went to NFL.com and got the news on that, and it's basically about they're changing the helmet rule.
Okay.
Where there has to be these particular type helmets, with a safety helmet, whatever it is, and they're forcing all it's a new policy. They're forcing all the players to wear this particular helmet now.
Trying to increase safety every year now.
And Antonio Brown says he will not play football this year if they make him wear that helmet.
Well, we'll see when the rubber hits the road.
Really?
He says, and he made another statement too, that he doesn't care. He doesn't need football. He wouldn't mind doing football, but he can walk away from it right now. He doesn't.
Wow, that's for over a helmet. What an
people
asshole.
do it.
I can't
was it
guys
Ricky?
Like that.
Ricky Williams, the running back, was on the Dolphins.
Yeah,
fantastic career. Was just eating people up. Couldn't stop smoking pot, man.
And let me just
like Josh Gordon.
He lived left
for Josh Gordon too.
Oh, and they gave him how many chances?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All that talent. Oh my God.
And we're there are preseason games they're already done now.
They're all done now. But
just to mention 2 other birthdays today.
Oh, we missed over
now,
that.
Now I'm going to say it again. I'll do birthday shout-outs for anybody who wants to be on part of the show. Just drop us something at LR Podcast or Facebook on our Loosely Rated Pod, or send us an email. And if you want a birthday message sent out to somebody, just drop us a message and we'll try to get to them and announce them on the show. But today is for Kristen. She's a big Michael Kors fan. Same with my wife, my daughter. Michael Kors' birthday is today. He's 60 years old.
And by Kristen and his wife, he means you and Rob. You mean you and Rob?
Yes, we do. We're
going to
go to Michael Kors.
Rob's looking over. I was like, oh my God, it's Michael Kors.
And
am I going to get a discount?
I have some really nice pocketbooks up on the screen.
I'm pretty sure it's
one of them caught Rob's eye.
It had a lot of bling on it. I think it'll make my eyes pop.
Yeah. So,
but there's one of my. I don't know. I'm afraid my wife's gonna hear this, but one of my favorite actors. I'm pretty sure her birthday is today.
Yeah.
Because I love that Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Anna Kendrick. Yes, you're right. Yeah, it is. It is today.
Kendrick.
That is today. No, actually, I remember looking up for Whitney Houston.
My wife's birthday is March 6th. I don't want anyone to think I'm not tracking that.
Yes.
Yeah, Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick. Yes, she's on there.
Well,
and also Deion Sanders is 52 today.
Prime time, baby.
Deion.
Prime time.
All right.
All right, well, listen, everyone. I want to thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for listening.
Oh wait, can I miss before we end?
We got a minute and a half.
All right, really quick. The scientists discovered. I don't know if you heard this. Really cool discovery.
Yeah.
Scientific discovery. There's a star in our solar system.
Yeah.
That scientists have figured out is actually older than the universe, than the entire universe itself.
Okay.
Science claims that the universe is 13.8 billion years old.
Yeah.
This star is 14.5 billion years old, which means it was around before the creation of the Big Bang.
All right.
So it's flying in the face of the Big Bang theory. That all the scientists are trying
wow,
to figure it out.
crazy. Really?
How can this even be?
Well, I'm going to pretend like I know what any of that means.
It's
I don't
cool.
know.
We'll get
I
into
don't
it.
know
It's like
shit
the
about
Big Bang
physics or
Theory.
Some
not-
interesting
or-
show.
science
That was
facts
good.
out there.
Yeah. Big
All
Bang
right.
Theory was good. It's a good show. The show's
You
over now.
take
That's
us
probably
out,
why it
Joe?
happened. Anyway, so again, I want to say thank you for everybody for tuning in.
Appreciate that.
You can find us again. You can find us at our website, which is looselyrelatedpodcast.com. You go to our website. It should link you out to. You can find us on Twitter at LRPocast. You can find us on Facebook, and you can find us most importantly on YouTube. And leave us a like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. If you like something about the show, you don't like something, let us know. We're definitely we're still new here, so we're open up to criticism. We're trying to get better. But in the meantime,
leave comments. Very important. We need to get your feedback on
Don't
YouTube.
be too critical. I have
Send
low
us an
self-esteem
email.
as it is.
I know if you want
But
to
in
be
the
critical,
meantime,
be critical. I don't care. But we need that feedback. It's very important.
we definitely do.
And also, don't forget we have Google Play Music on it.
Oh, I didn't mention that. And you can find us on Spotify and
Spotify
also
as well.
Apple Podcasts.
But as my son mentioned, you go to our website, you could link out to all of
Yes.
those with the icons at the top of the page. We'll
Right.
send you to any of those.
Yep. In the meantime, I want to say thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.